alive here. I think it's one more placing they need on this one, Jackie, as well. One more elimination would also do the trick. They want to get themselves up towards 5th place, but it would be so awful to go into match 2 1 point away from Smash ruling. Does not have a position to play, though. Everyone's completely looking his way. Might have been better to hedge his bets down towards Nigma Galaxy and just try and take a one-on-one trade. Just wonder if they actually know how many points they've currently garnered on this game and how close it gets them. You'd expect them to, right?
And honestly, for 4 Thrives, this probably works out in a way with that charge in.
Oh, no.
Oh, mate, the nade on Mormon. Okay, goodbye, you.
Oh, they're on it. They're on it. So it was. 6th place is fine. We're good.
Whew. They're safe for now. That's what they needed. And with Schweppes charging into that compound, he gave them some extra ammunition. They were having to make concessions, Blank. You can see about 80 rounds of 5.56 left for them. So they've been able to restock up. Nonshin, though, still making plays, and they got loads of ammo to spray with. Shots down on target from XCY. Hits onto another man. OG, you have just been trapped, taking punch after punch for so long. They're punch drunk in the back line.
For Nonshin Red Force is where all the storylines converge. Chicken dinner would be ideal, but a few more eliminations and a 2nd place would get them in towards that position. A pitched battle between Nonshin Red Force as well as E-Arena going straight into match 2. Good nade over the top from AKOP. Opens up the door here for them to move in. Hazaifa leaning onto this one. AKOP's down, leaving just WizGod. Goodness me, Nigma Galaxy still going, and it's Lord of all people. Oh, finally taken out, but top 3 now. Nonshin Red Force ever closer to a chicken dinner and set themselves up alongside with E-Arena at the top.
The solo savagery was nice to watch, but now it all goes down to the 2 squads that were in a prime position on Rondo for so long. The duo of 4 Thrives versus the full force of Nonshin. They charge up onto the compound. T24 topside. Hazaifa rearming himself. Shotgun to play with if they come charging through the door. So easy. Dashes the nade onto the lower levels. Wants to ascend up. Nade in. Masking some of the sound. So easy to peek this. Looking for the 3rd angle. Just through the window. Catches a glimpse, but they read it right. They try and keep him pinned back. He's got to heal.
XZY, got to be a good nade through the window. Good damage off the back of that one. The burst is lovely. The play zone will take down Hazaifa. And Nonshin Red Force start the day off with a chicken dinner. Can they grab another after this to close down the entire tournament? They've got Red Force, they've got dekh. This team looks good.
Nonshin have seen red, and the aggression has come out when it's needed. Fighting harder, pulling out huge eliminations on Rondo, and still playing so consistent with their setups.
I mean, a technical back-to-back as well from yesterday. Last Miramar into first Rondo. Nonshin is just a different beast coming into these last 2 days of finals. Especially coming off such a long 8-game day set into day 3. You're in the finals. It's getting nerve-wracking. You just open with a chicken dinner. These guys must be so confident.
They don't look rattled. They don't look bothered whatsoever by the sheer pressure that's on their shoulders. We know there's going to be a new champion, and Nonshin are eyeing up that trophy. They want it branded with their organization, their legacy. And if they keep this up, Blank, there is a decent chance they damn well do it.
Just fantastic stuff. Good to see Nigma Galaxy as well. Lord stepping up right at the end there. 4 Thrives also making some more aggressive plays, which is great to see. Yeah, there's some familiar faces. I think E-Arena panicked a little bit, but they just about made it right at the end there. Losing for lack for 4 Thrives was a fairly big deal, but OG also getting in towards a late game. Aru making some good calls that match. I think Nigma Galaxy also was very resilient that game to get where they did from where they were playing, so difficult, and then Lord able to sneak his way in.
Oh, man, you were bigging up Lord earlier into the tournament, right? Saying it's the fact that you've got Coops and Lord. That sort of collective in unison that's doing so much for this team. And again, there, in a situation where it felt like you were out, Lord goes off with the solo shenanigans. Oh, yeah.
Hey, do you know what that is?
He's got the brand on the go, mate.
That is the stamp to get into the Winners Club. Nongshim fighting, we'll be back soon.
Hi everyone, I'm Rick, producer of PUBG Mobile. For the past 8 years, PUBG Mobile has continued to grow together with players around the world. And even today, we are still fully committed to this battleground. We are continuing to invest more resources, improve the experience, and bring PUBG Mobile to more players in more ways. Today, I'm excited to share something important with you. New app, PUBG Mobile Lite. For us, PUBG Mobile Lite is not about making a smaller game with a smaller experience. It's about maintaining the high-quality PUBG Mobile standard while giving players a lighter and more accessible way to play.
And like he said, on
a lot of trepidation in the arena as we head into the first match of the final day here in EWC at PMWC. From Judena City up to Nanshuan, we're getting it kicked off here for PUBG Mobile. A lot of money on the line right now. Only a few teams can hit it. 4 teams past the triple digits. It is really not that far away to hit the smash point, which is currently set at 122.
a lot riding on this one. We were talking about those middle of the pack teams, opportunities for you to leapfrog up the standings. Rondo is the dream battleground for it, a hell of a starting point blank. But it can't just be an acceptable game. It's got to be huge eliminations. We're talking within the region of 11 to 14 plus. Really make the most of this one. Aim for that chicken dinner. And if possible, take down the teams that are ahead of you along the way. That's going to be a salient talking point longer the day goes on as well. If they're in the smash zone, you've got to stop them. Risk it all or have your dreams snatched away.
Nongshim Red Force E-Arena both dropping out in the same position. We do have big old hot drop over towards Neox. Every team understanding need to pick up those points right now. Ida already starting alongside with Aura. It's going back and forth, but S2G also finding some points here. A couple knocks coming their way. But 2 eliminations so far, and only lost down. This is a good result thus far for S2G. The 2 Turkish squads going head to head here.
Catch, trying to catch back up close. Kamikaze with the quick drop down.
Up the corner there, didn't really have much of a challenge. The faux pas coming through from Kedge. Kamikaze though looking on fire as per usual. Picture in picture, we got Aurora coming against GodLike. Aurora not that far behind either to hit that smash ruling. Aaron down, and Kamikaze keeps lighting up this stage.
He's been a real meme machine of the competition. Great story for him as an individual with some of the plays he's been making. But like you touched on, we saw it down in the bottom left. Now we get it full screen. This is Aurora. They've had some good moves. Got to keep it consistent. That's the name of the game. Don't let things poison the well the longer today goes on. Furia showing up in the Elim feed in a fight versus Ida as well. And we go over to E-Arena, clashing up close towards Flash. Turney K overwhelmed after getting one off with a pump, but he's got backline protection, but not for long. That's the flick back over. Schweppes goes in. Can he recover it, Blank?
Absolutely, seems this way. Only 3 players here, as per usual, as we know. From Rondo, usually have a 3-man send out, and one player will be the backup on the res, and that is BGMI right now. For Flash, Admino moves in, Refus is down straight away. Some good shots off right there, leaving Aurora in a bit of a pickle, only 2 players alive. They're over towards the north side of test track, but a good showing there from GodLike. IQ inside the building as Hyunbin gets sniped out by the M24 from AKOP at range.
It's a beautiful shot. Nonshin wanted to first onto this a little bit further though. Tizzy just playing on the lip of the window here. T24 down outside, IQ trying to play off his info, bait around here just towards the other side. He's got back up in Falak. Oh, good pre-fire, expected to peek. That one's going to do a little bit of chip damage, but he wants the whole hog. Charges back in, door closed, spams around, upsets Falak on the peak, but the response comes back over from IQ, charging him down with the SMG.
Honestly, for Tizzy there, he's working no vest, no helmet, playing like he has got all the armor in the world. That's 12K, 6 bullets! Can't quite handle the jump out there. Tried to go for the drop shot on that one. So easy, is good to go though. Gets the players back up and in position. But this is all the way over towards Ryan, right on the north side of the map. So a bit of a journey to go. OG also popping off over towards the likes of Alula. They take a fair bit of damage there, but Tizzy's back in. Function Red Force, good to continue. The arena though, good start for them. We know that they like to flex out around stadium, get themselves some eliminations where they can. Already started off in a good way over towards Flash. Those 3 points are further towards that smash rule. We have seen multiple times in international before, when we get to those finals, teams can't quite make it to get into that region of smash point on the second match. They got to be lucky. And if you want to be lucky at home, you got to join the 2026 PMWC Lucky Spin to draw for the exclusive set only available here for PMWC.
And it may be lucky for those of you at home, but it's been good decision making and some great gunplay for OG that's made the difference coming into the early fights here versus Alula and Ida, farming themselves up to 6 elims. That's what we're talking about for all these teams. You've got to have a big performance here. But none other are beating out 4 Thrives with the 7 they've been able to farm up after shutting down, of course, Nonshin Red Force in the cheeky plays we were seeing through the windows. 4 Thrives, bro, if they can keep this up, get that nice hot hand going early, Blank, you're already about halfway there, man. Just keep working on this, keep farming up the elims. We've got a long game ahead of us. We're only 6 minutes into this game 1 on Rondo. It'd be the dream scenario to start the day. Climb as high as you can.
The arena moving over towards Furia. They are isolated. Silence away. Ayala opens up in a big way there over towards Schweppes. Takes him down almost immediately, and that does make their lives much, much easier. Going forward, Tony K will ascend. Bullets been splashed against the wall there. So Ayala sends down, pin pulled. Ayala's going to make it confusing, make it difficult. Pin's put back in again. 2 players do step up to the plate now for Furia. The reinforcements are in. Isolated no more. Joker and Tony K will have to fight for their lives.
Close quarters combat. Nay pulled, bounced round. Not going to deal any damage though onto the Furious squad. They know how to play in these sort of lobbies with this much pressure, with Smash looming over them. They can dig their heels in deep and start to stand strong, but it's one step at a time. And E-Arena are the first challenge for them right now. It's GodLike that are also just on the periphery of this, getting information for free with all the noise that's being exchanged between the 2 squads. Chief further back on the other side of the bollards, throwing the nades in as well.
Kind of an interesting setup here, because they've got a big old split on over towards Test Track and Neox. Very dangerous area to be in. So again, for E-Arena, you do have Schweppes as well as Mormon in the backlines and Stadium. They're waiting, poised, because they're sort of certain this fight is not going to go well. Require a bit of a sick play. Sick couple of plays from Tony K and Joker to get this working.
Tony K He's just been arming that nade, waiting for an opportunity to get the most out of it. Yeah, quick head count on the util. He's only got 2 nades and the 1 Molotov in the back pocket. Fury is starting to clear out the building. They want to go floor by floor, but they run into Joker. Good first hit. They respond back in kind. A 1-for-1 trade. And Turnike with a nade. That's one of the 2 thrown out. It was a good primer, but no direct connection. He's going to be baited down as well. Could be stung from the back here. Oh, the bounce is big. Turn around as well. So close, Black, but couldn't hit it.
So close. You can feel in that moment there was almost a clutch potential. Luckily for E-Arena, they can't move back over towards Stadium, move back into the circle. But what a long journey it's going to be to get over towards Lo Hua Sing on the eastern side. Fourth Rise, though, you're right, man. What they've been doing so far is good. Kalash just talked about it earlier, wants them to be a bit more aggressive on those entries. Lurking around the outside edges a little bit too much when they have the gumption. They have the capability to play those central positions. But for E-Arena, I think they were just gambling with the points there. If they get the full 4-man flush, then massive addition to their points tally. Still, getting those 10 points isn't always easy. Doesn't always come on that first game. Nongshim coming in from that north side. S2G do have a player down in the dirt. Looking to get him res back up again, but Nongshim with a pretty decent injection on that northern side. Gives him a lot of maneuverability. A lot of capability to actually gatekeep on the northern edge if they so wish. Maintain control of some of that higher ground, some of those roads that teams will want to cross back into.
It's almost poetic. It's been twice inside of this game. We've seen S2G and Ulf going against each other. Ulf coming into it to start the day here. They were in 8th place. I believe 61 eliminations over the course of the finals. Up to that point, they were in a pretty good form when it came to fighting. They've just got to maintain that pressure. 2 elims here. We've got the rotate coming over from Aurora. Furia out of the mix early, though, Blank. And that's not what we expected to see.
GodLike, though, 10 eliminations. You can only imagine that full squad wipe over towards Fury came through from GodLike with a small assist from Fourth Rise. Yeah, GodLike certainly trying to put their name on the map today, but it feels a little late for them. At 67 points, they can earn those big rankings today. Grab some more cash on board, a bit more pride for the country as well. Overall, really big step up in that last day, which is why I was saying on day 1, you got to give these boys time. It's their first time at an international here at PMWC, so realistically, they just needed a little bit of acclimation, essentially. And once that was done, they looked pretty damn good going in towards the later portions of yesterday and already starting out strong here on the first game of the day. Circle continues to center up around Meiran. S2G controlling a very, very good spot. It has been good control over the center for S2G throughout the majority of games. Some very good rotates. I mean, Solke has been in the game such a long time at this point. And that veteran mindset is really coming into play here, where he's seen a lot of these circles before. He's seen a lot of these rotates. And he can really lead the team to victory. Yeah, some of the gun skill maybe isn't there for this guy, but he's still giving it gas when needs be. I think Solke's had a great step up, considering the amount of time he's been in this esport.
You've got a lot of talent on that roster. You can pass the baton too if you need to rely on someone for a sick play mechanically as well. So certainly armed for some good fights. Talking of which, Aurora getting line of sight over onto the Vitality migration as they wanted to make a move straight past. Few shots on target, resulting in them going down to a 3-man squadron. And it's Horror that also have a similar flight path back over towards the zone. I'm curious as well, bro, the push down from Nongshim Red Force, Thunderfooted their way into the zone early. I was saying the consistency of this team looked good, but it's the fact they've turned on this aggression. They're willing to fight for a good position now, Blank.
I mean, playing over towards the northeast side of Meiran, I mean, it's a bold maneuver, right? You don't try and play to hold out teams on the outer edge, but they don't get themselves too stuck into Meiran either. So they have accessibility to the rest of the zone. But this is a livable position in what is a bit of a dastardly circle. Now, E-Arena, we saw them coming in very late. They played over towards Stadium for a long, long time. Go over to recuperate after 2 players in Tony K, as well as Joker went down to the Fury a lot. Just on the heels, though, of OG.
Mormon's going to jump out. He loves a scrap. In the meantime, the Elim feed's lighting up and the crowd's getting excited because GodLike, it looked like it was a struggle of a fight versus Ida, but they've turned it right around. They lose 1 player and are able to clean out the entire squad. So goodbye, good night, Ida. The second team to exit stage left in our opening game of Rondo, whilst E-Arena continue to chase OG.
Yeah, keeping it pretty cool here inside of E-Arena. Smash ruling always changes how these teams play. So crazy as well. GodLike's just hit the 14th elimination on this game. They are cracking it open at the moment. Looks great to see. But yeah, for E-Arena, I do think you're getting ahead sometimes, where for this game, for them, doesn't matter so much about getting ginormous points, but what does matter is just getting enough so you open up the capability throughout the rest of the day to hit that smash. But you can get in your head about it. You absolutely can. Circle moves up towards the western side. Nongshim is extremely pleased with this shift, as they were already in Mayran, as we stated earlier. E-Arena was a little bit slow to the punch. Vitality finds the first here in top, but Axel will go down once again. Aurora has been hounding Vitality the entire game.
No punches pulled there. Clean uppercuts. And with Vitality out, they'll be able to save their mate, get top back on his feet, recover from this. They saw the rotation from Hora, hard committing to get past them, now trying to get into the zone themselves. Meanwhile, Nonshin, Red Force actually getting vision of their entry.
Because in Brazil, these guys have had so much practice when it comes to the Smash ruling. Furia themselves have smashed in multiple of their regional tournaments. So I was talking to them, I was like, hey, exactly the same question, right? If you see a couple teams in the Smash zone, will you guys go out of your way to take them out? And they said, well, at a certain point, we have to. You know what I'm saying? We know what's at stake. If we have to risk a bad game to ensure that we can continue in this tournament to possibly come back, we're gonna do it, right? So even if it's a crash and we lose the fight, we're taking a couple of those players with us. So the whole lobby, honestly, really needs to have that kind of same mentality, because if you want to be able to move up the leaderboards, there are massive jumps in prize pools as we go from 3rd, 4th, 5th place. So you want to be able to stay in this tournament as long as possible, and this one's going to be a fun one. We got a nice Eastern Circle.
I don't know about nice. It's certainly an Eastern Circle, though. It's going to push all the way out towards Milta, east of it, and Milta Power. Lepovka's in there as well. A lot of water here, Jukes. So that is going to be tricky to navigate. Nick Galaxy will not be getting hot drop currently, but Ulf might try and step in. Ida clashing with Tianba over on the western side. A very, very close drop.
And of course, we got our big threat of the lobby on a bike. Finally finding a vehicle here. And they're going to go ahead and be looting all this north side of Georgeville Hospital area. And since it is such an Eastern Circle, right, I wonder how much these teams are going to be kind of even thinking about possibly a rotation camp. Things like that are going to start coming into play here. And yeah, man, this is gonna get intense.
Yeah, a lot of teams looking to put pressure on as the fight in near Gatka between Ida and Tianba is still popping off. Remember, this is an adjustment from Ida to move out this way with the plane path as south as it was. They are going to get stuck straight in with Tianba, and neither team is looking super happy about it. Aching on the inside of the building. Swain on the top floor now has Eagle to contend with as well. Drops a nade down to the ground floor. He tries to fend off the remaining 2 players. QZZ unlikely to get picked back up here. Does bleed out in the end. And a step forwards. Swain rebuffs. One more barrel, but it's not enough to blast it back. Tianba survived, but with only 2 players. And Horror can just move in and maybe just sweep this one through. A very strange hot drop coming through over on Gatka.
Terrible. I mean, honestly, Ida's disrupted this lobby so much, and Tianba are devastated. Now down to just 2 single players. Aching jumps out, just desperate, trying to do something for his squad, and Eagle is just standing still, just saying, like, not like this. Not like this.
Horror have been a little bit quieter during the course of these finals. Not the fans, that is, the players. The fans have been plenty loud and we've loved it, but they haven't quite had the performance that we were maybe expecting from them coming into the games in these finals. It's not going to be enough. I don't see them catching up when we've already got two teams in that smash zone. It is a bit unfortunate. It is not great, but they can look pretty good in game. We know that. And one of the ways that you can look good in game at home is with the Naruto skins. Make sure you're heading into game to pick up the character sets, the Ninetales Fury Org, and you can look as good as anyone taking on those ninja challenges.
Yeah, get that ninjutsu going. And honestly, yeah, it seems like Aura, OG, they're going to need to bust some of that out if they want to be able to make a crazy run for it. Mathematically, it is still possible, right? If Aura, they start with 3, they're going to need a 20-point game here, a 20-point game in the next one, and maybe even another one after that.
It's triple back-to-back.
It's triple back-to-backs, you know what I'm saying? We still have enough games to do it. It's just going to be tough, especially considering that you got... There's going to be quite a few teams in that smash zone very, very quickly here. That's if this game even continues on after this one. So a lot of different factors to play out. The problem also is the fact that we get later and later into this tournament, the desperation is going to raise tremendously, right? So these teams in the mid-pack are going to even start playing hyper-aggressive because they're going to know, right? Their coaches are going to tell them, hey, man, look, you made it all the way over here to Paris, all right? You either get 20 points or this was all for nothing at a certain point, right?
Well, that's, I mean, there's still placements on the line and all of that sort of thing. I'm just looking at the map at the moment, and I'm seeing that Nongshim Red Force might be in with their first fight in a moment, which is going to enlighten the rest of the lobby as to sort of where they're playing, what sort of conflicts they could be running into. A 2-2 split across Milta right now for Nongshim, as they did not fully or firmly hold the bridge against Alula, so that crossing does come through. And that central glut of teams, and now they start to take shots. Alula in the hovercraft have plenty of armor to rebuff the first volley, but there's more still being flung down range, and that's going to have to divert them on the long road. They find the knock, and there's the flush. Nongshim Red Force extract the first point.
Wow, okay, so they end up getting a point on that. Pretty wild. And Alula are in this next circle, down a player. The thing is, though, if any team nearby happen to hear those shots, they know where Nongshim Red Force is now. So that is going to be a factor, but they are in a really good spot for this circle for now.
I mean, teams should be aware, right, of where they're playing based on the fact that it was Alula that they knocked, and Nongshim Red Force generally going to be in this sort of location. They'll know that Alula are coming up from Novo. So it should be a pretty certain bead on it for a lot of teams in the lobby, but nobody is likely to send out this way. Maybe Aurora could try and crash into it and cause some problems. Vitality are actually holding the west bridge, which is interesting, over on that ferry pier side of things. So if Aurora decide, you know what, we're not going to go over to that east side, we're going to try and break west, Vitality is still lying in wait for it, which I'm not too sure about. I'm not sure if I like that.
Yeah, it's going to be tough here as you got some pretty wild rotations here. Speaking of wild rotations, we got Enigma Galaxy rocking their 2-2 split.
The same again.
Same again. You know, I actually talked to Ralph a little earlier this morning, asked them like, hey, you're going to continue to do it? They're like, yeah, you know, it's worked for us in the past. We're going to try it out. We've noticed that on the west side, had a little bit of unluck with some pretty crazy pushes, but we're going to give it our shot here, and we'll see if it pays off for them.
I mean, they did win a chicken dinner from a circle similar to this, on a rotation similar to this. Obviously, it was a different lobby. It was a different time. We were different people, Jukes. We were so much younger.
We've grown so much.
Yeah, exactly. We've come so far, but they're going to look for that regroup at some point. Getting through for that regroup is really the difficult part that we've seen for Enigma Galaxy on this regroup rotation. Getting through the glut of teams right now, I'm not too sure how that's going to work. They may have to go on the boat, maybe head up all the way north of the Popcorn and go all the way around. That would be, I mean, maybe not sensible, but possible, certainly. It's difficult, and they are going to get on the road right now to see what they can find. E-Arena are also starting their move in from South George. As we can see, we're on board of them, just passing the north side of school to head towards the center of this circle as it centers up on that Milta Hill near prison and mansion.
Rotations are coming. As we are zooming in to Erangel, what kind of circle are we going to get here? All right, just beautiful center up, very typical. A lot of these teams were expecting this, and they got it. Now you see Enigma Galaxy, right? They're going to be on both sides of this circle. It's going to be very difficult for them to get to their teammates here, so we'll see how this pays off. But we still got some teams still trying to get in this zone. E-Arena pushing in super late because they land over there in North George. Aura still in Severny. And you got Vitality going on the other bridge here, so they're going to be super late in the circle as well.
Yeah, Vitality's still on the West Bridge. I don't like it. I think this is way too long. You're overcommitting. No one's turned up. Not too sure what the game plan was there for Vitality. It's not the same team we saw from their stages.
Sad.
So
Yeah,
unfortunate.
It's the same thing we saw in PMGO too.
Yeah, it's a big drop-off, which I'm sad to see. Enigma Galaxy, they get their back duo caught up in a regroup, and this is exactly what I was worried about. It's only going to be Lord, his vehicle's on fire, and he goes down because he hops out. As it's on fire, they lose their back too. I guess, yeah, Ralph, keep doing that. See how that works out for you.
Yeah, I saw his player cam, and I could see he said, what the heck? You know, oh, what happened? How is this?
Why are there players here in the middle of the circle?
How did I get knocked?
What? Oh, that's crazy.
That's super unfortunate. The 2-2 split, man. I mean, losing players like that is so rough. We'll see how it all continues on, though. That's if we have another match after this, because Nongshim Red Force are on the south side of Milta, full squad, looking dangerous. On the other end, you got the other Titans of the lobby, E-Arena, holding down the north side. So both these teams able to secure position as a full four-man team.
A vice grip on the circle right now, and our teams will look to try and slip that. This is a replay on Lord getting knocked. You can see he drove up. It was actually the hop out that got him. He'd already taken enough damage and hadn't slowed down enough. He hopped out of the vehicle, kept that momentum, and it was the fall. He hit that ground a little bit too fast.
The ankles.
Just rolled the ankle, man. Rolled the ankle. And now Coops and Satan have to do it all on their loans. And it's a bad time. It's a bad time. I feel like it may have worked before. Teams maybe weren't necessarily expecting something like that, and they weren't looking for a duo to be rotating in such an early fashion, especially because they know, oh, well, these players haven't lost, so it should be a full four come from there. But there's been enough games now when Enigma Galaxy have done this that teams should be like, oh, yeah, that's what they do. Let's just clamp down on that.
You know, it's one of those strategies that I don't know whether to be. It's just one of those strats that's just like, okay, it's different. You know what I'm saying? We don't see
one of those bad ones. Yeah, I've heard of those.
It's bad when it doesn't work, right? That's the thing. It's like if it does, it's like, wow, maybe more teams should try this out. But after that, it's like, I think we just stay together. You know what I'm saying? It's just unfortunate, especially considering that they're in 5th place, man. If they would have got a 20-point game here, boom, they would have been in that smash zone. Let's see where this next circle goes, though. And things are going to start heating up because we get a nice center up. E-Arena are going to be over there in Lipovka, so they're going to have to fight their way into this next circle. But like you mentioned, it is a vice script right now. North and southern side is where the big threats lie. In the middle of the map, though, you got S2G, you got Enigma Galaxy as that duo. They had 4, right? It is what it is. But you got Team Flash on that ridgeline, too. That is a very, very strong spot. They can be able to hold a lot of real estate there.
That's true over on the east side, but I feel like they do need to move into the west edge of it a little bit further, which is exactly what Bo has decided to do there. They have to transition forward. The 3-building compound that sits sort of in front of them is viable, but it can be very difficult to hold against teams up on the north, especially if you get crashed. Multiple angles can crash onto it as well, so a little bit tenuous when you have to leave that ridgeline for Team Flash. For Nongshim, they're going to play nice and isolated on the southeast side. Remember, it's not big point-scoring games that are necessary. That's not what's going to be weighing on the mind of Nongshim, of E-Arena. It is just that chicken dinner. Be the last player standing. That's the only thing that should be running through their mind right now to try and secure that tournament title, the global stage glory.
That's interesting. That's an interesting thought. And I hope it doesn't change their play style, because I'm thinking back to PMMI where Tianba had such a massive lead, and they kind of implored that same strategy. Like, hey, let's just put up some basic points. They had so many points, as long as nobody smashed, they were going to win it for the most part. But they changed play styles, and they paid the price for it big time, going from what we thought was going to be an automatic first to like 3rd place. So
yeah,
we'll see how Nongshim, who definitely learned from that, if they're going to replicate it or play the game that got them here in the first place.
4 thrives. in that last match were able to ignite those afterburners, send them into the stratosphere on the point scoring. And now Fourth Tribes want to keep that pace, but they're kind of cut out on this northwest edge. They are boxed in by that prison cliff area on the east side of them. They're gonna have to pick a direction and commit. Towards Vitality may be a good idea to start, but you've got GodLike behind that, and maybe Ulf on the top, on the lip of those prison cliffs could be a target as well. But either way, it feels like a third-party target.
I can't lie, I'm so hyped for GodLike right now. After seeing that Rondo match, they put up so many points. If they would have won that fight with E-Arena, they would have, who knows where they'd be on the leaderboards here. But they put themselves in a good position. They're still in 10th place, 72 points. They're gonna go for the back-to-back chicken dinner. They realize it, like, hey, we gotta get it done here. If they do, it would be the comeback of a lifetime. You know that their fans are excited. They're hyped up.
Oh, yeah.
Waiting for this next zone, and it's gonna go on over to the northeast side. And which team gets blessed here, John?
Team Flash, right? E-Arena on the north side, on that road down from Lipovka. It helps them out. I wouldn't say blessed, though. I feel like they are still in a little bit of a dangerous position, especially with Horror descending on them. Look at that eastern sweep. That could be dangerous. That could be trouble. As Coops takes a knock in the meantime as well on the south side, bleeding out another player. Not good news. But Horror, look at a crash maybe towards E-Arena. I do think it is Team Flash that has been the most blessed by this zone, though. On that northeast side, it's exactly what you highlighted, right? That ridge line, the buildings in front of it, really, really good. But only if it goes out their way. Well, guess what? Here we are. And now S2G try and push in. They're being denied access. As Horror clash with Fourth Tribes, who have, okay, they've lapped over the north side of prison, and they're third-partying on the rotate here on the north.
Fights happening all over the place. Now we're going to be looking at Enigma Galaxy. Sath all by himself, going to be challenging Al-Ula here as we switch over. Fourth Tribes get eliminated. That is a huge loss right before the 100-point mark. There goes Enigma Galaxy as well. That's 5th and 6th out.
And now Aurora up, trying to sweep past Noxian Red Force. As Horror picking up those points is a great result for them. 7 eliminations now on the north side, right next to Arena, who take a knock as well. Turny K has gone down. S2G battling for the middle of it and taking damage from every single angle. Ulf will do a lot of damage to them, but S2G managed to weather that storm. A lot of damage across the board on these rotates, Jukes.
And then here we go. We're going to catch this fight here as S2G are hurt. Vitality very, very close near to them. And it was OG that are putting up some points on the board. They end up getting 1. Kamikaze on the other end. Now finally the fight has calmed down, but this is a battle for the central position in this circle.
I mean, this is another team, S2G, who is within reach of that smash point barrier up to 122, but they have just had the win taken out their sails. 113 right now. They need to get 9 more points on this match, and with 11 more teams alive as a solo Kamikaze, has he got something magic up his sleeve? I do not think so. We're just going to leave Aurora to really be the only challengers to that smash point duo.
And Aurora are definitely a threat, that's for sure. 110 points, 12 is super easy for them to get in this kind of position. They're gonna have to fight their way through it though. CS Power getting a knock from GodLike. They're down to 2 players, and that is WizGod gonna get that confirmation on 2 Power. Only 1 player up left for GodLike.
Oh, the Arena did manage to just roll over to the ridgeline there on the shoreline. But Mormon's been spotted. Okay, Sky is still going. And the Arena not safe yet, not out of the woods. As GodLike and Orangutan still continue to clash. Up the stairs, GodLike, look for it, but the drop down is caught. And there's the crash. Here it is. Take 1 down and the Arena fall. Only 1 team can stop it all now. Longshim with a big opportunity on the south side, but they're right on the edge.
The whole lobby breathing a sigh of relief now that at least one of the Titans is gone. It's still up to Noxian Red Force though. They're on the south side, playing carefully, waiting in the shadows to strike. It's only a matter of time here. They're saying, yeah, you guys fight it out. but you better watch out.
Ooh, a big south shift, and Alula are looking tasty for Nongshim. Look, they're already in those vehicles. XZY wanting to keep Overwatch on the angle as well. Maybe take some shots out that way. How fast are Nongshim going to be able to mount up? Because Flash have already regrouped to the triple stack buildings on the north side of this next part of the circle. The west edge with Furia and Orangutan also needs to conclude and try and find a way down the hill. The Deadwood is so hard to navigate, though. There are these really tricky defilades, and there are players lying in wait.
Speaking of lying in wait, yeah, you can see Nongshim Red Force. They don't want to give away their position. They don't want the lobby to know where they're at right now, so they're playing it very, very quietly. So take a look at this replay. Schweppes, popping them out the vehicle, but the crash from Aura, so strong here. And they shut down E-Arena. Huge fight for the whole lobby.
Absolutely. E-Arena remain on 122 as well. Doesn't mean they can't win it all next match. They are still in the Smash boundary.
Yes, they are.
So even if Nongshim get 30 points and don't win the chicken dinner, they could still take it all away with a 0 E-Limmer.
Aurora want to put themselves in the Smash zone here now, though.
Oh, yeah.
Here they go. They're going to start pushing, trying to find a position. They got the Wizard Tower. Are they going to take it? Nope, pass it up and decide to go for this hill line here. Good strategy. Got to be careful, though, with those shots from Flash.
Yeah, there's...
Throwing down some smoke. I like how they put one vehicle in front of the other, so they at least sacrificed one, but they should be able to hold on to at least another one here in a second.
They're going to have to pick a point to go, and I feel like sure, Team Flash can be taking shots right now, but the west side is going to have to conclude, and fairly quickly. Someone is going to look to crash Team Flash. I can guarantee you that at some point in this match.
Yeah.
But it may be a little bit longer than we were anticipating. I mean, as I said, the Deadwoods have a lot of those defilades, the hills that slope down from the top of this ridgeline. This tree cover has a lot of rocks to play around. You can sort of stutter your way forwards a little bit, but later on you're going to have to find something. Oh, spot over onto Doc. They know who they're fighting now.
Well, they will once that thirst happens.
There it is.
And there it is. So now they know 100% Nongshim Red Force is right here. Aurora are going to put every single amount of their resources to make sure they can stop them.
It may well be worth it with all the teams around them going down fairly quickly. Just sitting here waiting for Nongshim to roll out, stepping through, sacrificing shots to Team Flash. They may look to try and just block the road, shut the door in the face of a Smash victory here in match number 2 today, match 14 on the series.
To be fair, this is going to be a very tough win for Nongshim to get. They're in a really, really tough spot here. They are on the edge of the circle. That broken wall is covering them for now, but this next zone is going to make things interesting. But here we go with a huge battle. It's Furia versus OG. Furia in 8th place right here. They need the win. Oh, that nade looks good. That should get a confirmation. It doesn't. Some way, somehow. Bad nade there, but all of a sudden, they are able to get some knocks. Silence is going to go into the building, eating some blue zone. Furia are getting peppered little by little. He gets away with just 1 HP.
Oh, WizGod steps out. He's looking for more. He's got the shotgun shells under the car. The blue zone's ticking, but it's not going to matter. WizGod strikes back against Furia, but now Horror here, and he's got a sliver of HP to play around with. They'll know he's here, and Fear rolls over the top of the hill.
Didn't see him.
What? He didn't see him. Should hear that. No! With his back to it. Will take the shots, but not find the knock. And he will be put down. In the meantime, the roller from Nongshim.
And they're off. Here they go. Nongshim Red Force on the rotation, trying to find a spot in this zone. Tires get popped. Team Flash knocked down Tizzy. It's up to the 2 players from Nongshim to end this tournament.
XZY trying to regroup now on the back. The reloads are coming through, and he may be able to sneak his way into the dip. And Aurora now have Nongshim set before them. A gauntlet to run through, and then one that they will charge in headlong. Nades first. Zul, Reefus, and Top wants this retribution. Draw this game to a close without a Smash point victory.
Aurora throwing an absolute bombardment onto Nongshim Red Force. They know they're the threat. They're going to use every single piece of utility they have to finish this team off once and for all. Not able to find those other confirmations. Vehicles are getting moved out the way, though. That's the coverage that Nongshim Red Force desperately need. Looks like they're playing a little game of ping pong with that car.
Ooh, but Aurora starting to suffer as well. They have to move forwards, and now they're in the firing line of Team Flash. It may well be enough to stop Nongshim from winning the game, though, and that seems to be what they were trying to bid for. All the while, by the way, Kamikaze is still alive, so can't discount him just yet for getting the points that he may need. It would be a very long road, though. Hyunbin and So Easy now find the final blow, struck to the heart of Aurora, who draw their game out on 113. They will fall to no smash. Not here, not now.
We're gonna see a game 3, folks. Get excited, get hyped, because now's the chance for a lot of these teams to start pushing their way up the leaderboards.
How far can you go here, though? I mean, for Team Flash, this is a golden opportunity to jump up placement points, to jump up and get a little bit more cash under the belt, be a higher ranking finisher. They have all 4 of their players alive. They're looking pretty chill. As I said before, S2G do have the slimmest of opportunities. For me, it's Kamikaze needing to grab some third-party points off a fight that Team Flash has.
Yeah, he's just trying to sneak it enough points to sneak his team into that smash zone. Any point matters, though. I really got to give some major love, though, to Aura. Look at them. 13 eliminations. This team is trying to make a comeback of a lifetime, and this is how you do it. Got to get this win, though. Anything less is not going to be enough for them to make that race to the top.
I mean, even when you do get it, it's still a long, long road for them to try and find. For Kamikaze, he needs to profit 6 more points on this match. Those can come from either increasing placements or getting eliminations to join that smash point bubble. But this next circle comes in, it's not going to have him in it. It does push Flash into into a few of their locations, but it looks like they've spotted him. Kamikaze is there, they roll up, he's put down, and no longer do we have that storyline. The battle at the bottom of the tables rings true for the final 4 here.
This is huge. Everyone's trying to move up their placement here. Like, again, this is a massive prize pool. Every single placement up is big money in the bank. Aura, though, this is the game of a lifetime for them. This is one of those opportunities that gets your squad excited, gets them pumped up to finally start putting everything on the line. You can see Team Flash, though, they're in the mix here. Aura trying to push from the edge of the circle. They're going to start throwing all their util onto Vitality. That's the threat. If they can hold that rock and secure that position, this could be a solid chicken dinner for them.
Absolutely. A big chance. As the nades keep on going forwards. 13 eliminations onside, and they want to add 2 more to the tally.
Go.
Sky and Jiggle into the fight. Razak goes down first, immediately putting him out of business, out of action. Sky looks for more as well, and they turn it on. It's just too hot.
Aura are on fire. 15 eliminations, but that nade looks dangerous. Gotta watch out. That one hurt, and now it's up to Sky. All by himself. Aula looking to stop the insanity that Aura has put on display here. Here they come. Yasser moving up close and personal to be able to secure this high ground. Team Flash on the other end, putting some suppressive fire onto them as well. Aura just trying to lick their wounds, trying to find their way, but it ain't gonna be enough. That is Aura down to 1 single player.
I like Team Flash's proactivity here. They didn't waste time. They didn't hide in the buildings. They stretched their legs and moved out towards this north side to get control of the zone. This is what we've wanted to see from a lot of our teams, and I'm glad to see it now, even if it is potentially a little bit too little too late. For them, they've got 10 eliminations here, so Aura, they're on 15, but there is a real chance that they could catch up. A Sky is still cooking an aid, and Alula are gonna have to worry. Okay, he puts it back to the shotgun shell.
He's not moving a muscle here, and I don't think Alula realizes that he's even still there. They have to know there could be a threat in this area. But Quick is just hopping in the vehicle to get a little bit of extra third-person perspective and get some sight lines. Plus, he's protected in there. He has no idea. They have no idea he's there. Hello! He missed the shots, though. Sky gets the knock, but gets shot in the back as Win from Team Flash shuts down Aura's run.
Pretty mighty flub there on the shotgun, hot over the bonnet there. Probably didn't realize, but Quick didn't know he was there and thought, oh, well, I'm gonna have to go for the fight. He's gonna stand up for it, right? Right? Not to be. Ooh, a cheeky little pick onto Zeus, and actually, Bose is quite low. Over the top, though, Tops and Win look to put pressure onto Quick, and remember, Alula only really have 2 players to play around with here, Klaus and Yasser. Looking to navigate close to the middle for Yasser, but Flash can regroup on 3. Klaus has a lot to face down on his lonesome here on this angle. Needs a big nade, needs to find a knock pretty immediately, and is already taken down. Win steps through with the AUG, puts that one to bed. And a second volley of fire over the top of the rock sees Team Flash to the chicken dinner.
I'll take that one, that's for sure. Over 20 points in that game. A massive one for them. I guarantee you, their coaches, everybody was telling them, right, hey, this is what you need to do if you want to make a run of it. And this is a start, right? This is a start. It's still a long road ahead, but now the road is there. You know what I'm saying? It had to happen in this game, and they got it done.
That's what you need to do. When that clock strikes, you've got to hear the call and step up to that plate. Unfortunate that Nongshim and E-Arena couldn't really get much further into that one. That Aurora hold on the eastern side, it stopped them really from being able to break out in the way that they wanted to. Flash were an incredible suppressive force over the course of a lot of that final set of circles, so really, really great stuff from them. But yeah, it could have been very, very different if Aurora had played that slightly in a different fashion.
For sure. I mean, unfortunate for them, super fortunate for the rest of this lobby as we're going to go into one more game for sure. Now, as far as teams that are still within that Smash Point threshold, I believe it's still going to be the duo,
yep,
right? It's still going to be the 2 teams. But another opportunity in this next game, right? For more squads to be able to push their way on up. As we're going to take a look at the replay here. Team Flash, great job of being able to finish this game strong. Win especially, just boom. Putting the nail in the coffin. That's how you do it.
I just didn't want to mess about, you know. He knew.
Let's get to the next game.
Come on. Let's go next. Keep the pace, because they do want to keep up that pressure. If you're on a run, now is the time to hold on to that momentum. There is no more runway that you need to cover to take off on this. It is just today. There is nothing that you want to leave out on Erangel and let it go to Miramar, because you may not reach it. No one might.
Just look at these players' faces. Straight intensity. These guys are locked in right now. They know exactly what they need to do in order to make this happen. And it's going to be on the back of a ton of eliminations and securing those wins, all while stopping E-Arena and Nongshim Red Force, who had a great pincer on the end of that circle there. But, you know, I think teams now especially have understood just how threatening this smash rolling is.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to do extra and beyond to make sure that they can stop those 2 squads.
Absolutely. I mean, there is so much pressure on so many teams. I think that, again, I'm gonna go back to my old favorite hobby, it seems, this game of giving a little bit of hate over to Ralph, because Nick McGalaxy, that 2-2 split did not work. It was really kind of catastrophic. And hey, you know what? The position that they went to, that they tried to go for on that east side, was where Team Flash won from. So could have been different. We're gonna head down to the stage. Kalaris has a little interview for us for some inside information.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much. Here with Nongshim Red Force, Hyunbin once again to get some insights on what's gone on so far. Let's talk about the Erangel that just actually happened. You guys found yourself in mini-mill to power, but then the circles shift away from you. You sent it north instead of any other direction. Talk to me about that choice. Do you think it was the right one, or do you think there was another path you could have taken?
일단 현빈 선수 첫 번째 질문은 일단 아까 에란겔 경기부터 일단 얘기를 해볼게요. 에란겔 경기 때 사실 밀타 파워 쪽의 공장을 이용하셨다가 이제 자기장이 튀자마자 이제 바로 북쪽으로 지르셨는데 사실 그쪽이 좀 다른 선택권이 없어서 좀 강제가 된 건지 아니면 좀 그게 좀 가능성이 있다고 보신 건지 좀 궁금하네요.
일단 저희 자리에서 치킨 갖고 오기는 좀 많이 힘들었던 것 같고 저희가 오로라 한 명을 잘라나왔고 그 골에서 오로라 일단 한 팀 먹고부터 할 생각.
Yeah, we already knew that that shift was actually really tough for us. So what we thought was Aurora was actually there, and we got a one knock of Aurora player. So I think we should have started with getting out, knocking out Aurora, and then we find our footing on the ground inside that circle.
So the Rondo game, you just won another one here. You look always great in urban endings, does Nongshim Red Force. So talk to me about that urban ending. What were your biggest concerns? You had great roof control, so what was your guys' perspective on that finish?
또 론더판에서는 또 치킨을 드셨는데 사실 시가전에서 정말 좋은 모습을 보여주시는 것 같습니다. 그래서 그 시가전에서 특히나 이제 지붕을 통한 영역 그 컨트롤에 굉장히 또 일가견이 있으신 것 같은데 좀 그 점에 있어서 좀 어떤 점을 좀 중점으로 플레이를 했었는지 궁금합니다. 그 론더 플레이 때 시가전 플레이 때 어떤 플레이를 중점으로 두셨는지.
일단 저희 자리가 외곽이었고 저 시가 쪽 한쪽이 비었어갖고 일단 들어가서 서클 받다 보니까 그냥 좀 잘 먹은 것 같아요.
Well, honestly, I think the inside of the city play was actually well forced because we were outside of the circle. But that being said, I think we were kind of lucky because we tried to gain the footing because of actually one of the places are actually empty. So we just find our footing there, and then we just took a control of the roof, and then we maintained good condition and intel.
All right, well, thank you much for joining me, Hyunbin, here once again. That's Nongshim Red Force currently in position on the smash rule as we continue the games here at PMWC.
We booked Esports World Cup.
Nongshim Red Force and E Arena not being able to close it out, so we're gonna keep going. One more match in this one. Team Flash being able to come off with the win there after not really being able to do much for the whole tournament. Great performance out of their squad, but don't forget, for everybody that's currently here at EWC, make sure you guys check out the fan experience. Go look at the awesome stuff between PUBG Mobile and Naruto. Try out Brain Rot Royale, why not? Because we've been able to try it and it's quite fun, and I played it way too much. I had to stop so I could actually come here and break down what's been going on in the finals, and also check out Spider-Man. Maybe you'll get a chance to meet him and greet him. But about this performance from Team Flash Max, we finally got a chance to see them perform.
I never doubted. No, I have been doubting a little bit. It's been looking a bit dicey recently, unfortunately. But no, really good hold on the northern side, right? Able to get rid of a lot of threats over in that position. Definitely a team that has been very silent. But before this game, they had a total of 63 points. If my count is right, they just got about a third of the points they've made so far up until now out of all of their games in a single chicken dinner, 23 points. So that's going to get them way higher up in the middle rankings. And let's keep in mind, even if you're not number 1-7, the prize pool distribution is getting way higher on that first half of the leaderboards.
It is. For some of these teams that might be too far away from that threshold of the smash rule, they're going to be pushing up because there is that prize pool at stake. $3 million that we're going to be giving out. And Horror Esports being able to perform really well, seeing the aggressiveness This is what we've been expecting out of Horror Esports, the aggressiveness, 16 eliminations.
I mean, it's a real shame we just didn't see this from the get-go, right? From day one throughout to today, because they could have been in a very different position on those leaderboards than we see them right now. But also, just mention very quickly, as we look at the team stats here for Sleepy and Sky actually doing some mega work. They did have some really good nades. They were pushing very well. They are the team that got rid of Arena in the mid phase of that game, taking shots onto Nungshin there. So, you know, very, very proactive, really looking around them and trying to get as many elims as possible. I think we can call that farming.
They were farming a little bit. They definitely were. But actually, the key thing we have to keep in mind for Horror here is they are the team that eliminated Arena, which is a team, if you get that elimination, one of the points you're like, that's Arena. That's Arena right there. Go. Push them. And then they did it. And because of that, right, Lace, they delay the tournament just a little bit more, which really is going to make this event so much more interesting because so many teams can enter the Smash Zone.
I know, and how crazy it is that the top of the leaderboards seem to fall and then these mid teams sort of have that glimpse of hope and opportunity. But that's why we love it here for PUBG Mobile with the Smash rule, especially. Now, I do want to sort of draw your attention to S2G, a team that is quite incredibly close to that Smash rule. But if we talk about the first game, we didn't really get to chat to them sort of in that first mid-section. They had a nice recovery, a little bit of a hot drop, couldn't capitalize on as many eliminations as they wanted to. The roughest zone shift for them. They had like that kind of open terrain. They couldn't really move in. And then they passed. And then this game, again, it kind of like they're losing their team so incredibly early after eliminations. You saw Kamikaze there on the north side trying to sponge those points, but again, falling short. Look how incredibly close S2G are, 116. They should have done it earlier.
Just 6 points away from being able to enter the Smash Zone. Aurora Gaming as well, currently 9 points away. And teams that were going to be looking to be able to close that gap, especially when we saw Arena get eliminated. Nonshin really not going for that many eliminations, playing it quietly. Four Thrives. I mean, Four Thrives wasn't really able to do much. And with the win that we just saw to Team Flash now moves into 7th place.
Yeah, really good push up here. Team Flash, 7th position overall. That's going to be an extra bit of money in their back pocket. But the thing is, it's looking very scary. Look at the top three. 3 chicken dinners, 2 chicken dinners, 3 chicken dinners, while the other teams below all have 0, like 4 Thrives, or a singular chicken dinner. So that is really making it scary that the tournament could really end at any point today.
Well, the big thing as well for me is that Aurora Gaming, Nigma Galaxy, and Arena all finished up that match with 0 points on the board, right?
Yes.
None. Nothing for game 2. S2G is moving up. As you said, Lace, you've got 4 Thrives. Well, also they got 0 points, so they don't count. But Team Flash, Ulf, all of these teams, they are really making a push forward, while those top teams, except for Nongshim, it's getting very close for the rest of those teams.
And in this first page of the overall, there is one big outlier, especially when we're looking at the wins here. And it's none other than 4 Thrives. 4 Thrives, the only team in this first page that doesn't have a win. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because, yes, 4 Thrives, if you are able to have a good performance in the next match, at one point, we need to start seeing those win if they want to be able to win via Smash Roll.
I mean, even if we bring it back to sort of the group stages, they were sort of unable to get those chicken dinners. Of course, they could capitalize on elimination, but they weren't really one of those teams that would close out the win. We're sort of seeing this trend now, and of course they want to sort of get those elims and sponge those points to hit that kind of Smash Roll threshold, but in then it's still, if you calculate statistically, it's still their win rate is not really that nice. Yeah,
a little bit
politely.
Tough. But you know what? I'm going to pivot the conversation. I want to bring it back to Nongshim Red Force.
Yes. Let's discuss.
And what
I wanted to take a bit of time here because that was an absolutely insane throw. There are 3 options. Or you third party to the western side on the mountain next to Lumberyard, or you directly crash onto Al Ula, which is what I think would have been a really good option, or you decide to go for the wide wrap onto Flash, which I wouldn't recommend, and they ended up doing. There were so many options to go, but that was like out of the 3 Nitra, the one that was not going to give them the win.
And you know what? It's showcased by Al Ula taking 2nd place from the exact position that we were like, Nongshim, go that way, go that way. Al Ula end up going that way, get that 2nd place, and I think if it had been Nongshim with the kind of momentum that they had off the win, they would have won there. It is genuinely not even game throwing, it's almost championship throwing in game 2, right? Because they could have won it, they could have ended it, done and dusted, and they just didn't. They went for a very different play.
Yeah, and especially because of that rotation. If you push Al Ula, let's say, only Al Ula is going to fight you, right? It's literally team versus team.
Literally.
That wide you can rotate, Aurora's looking your way, Team Flash is looking your way, Al Ula's also looking your way. You're just making it harder for yourself. And Nocturne Red Force have some of the best rotations sometimes, and then they pull stuff like that. I'm very confused. They're a very confusing team. Entertaining to watch, but confusing.
I also want to sort of point out, and this is just kind of across Battle Royales in general, sometimes you only have that one opportunity, and when you miss it, it is now 10 times harder to get back to that same position. You do not get these chances often. And like you said, Neftro, they didn't make that space, they didn't make that play well, so it will be a little bit more challenging now.
And with Nocturne Red Force, especially in that performance, right? I fully agree with you guys. They decided to go the completely wrong way, being within nade range of Aurora as well, even though they ended up out-surviving Aurora. One thing, though, for this team is that when we've seen it in the past, you were kind of telling me this too, Neptura, especially at PMMI. Once they hit the smash zone, this team is so scary because they know exactly what they're playing for, which is just the win, right? Yes, they can get some points. And we kind of saw this here being super passive, the team just waiting for the right time. And I think maybe that's what could have hurt them there. They was just looking for something passive. They weren't looking for an actual fight, and that's why they decided to go with that rotation.
You know what? I 100% agree with you there, Seven, because, yeah, they are so scary. They are so patient. And we saw that them lining up on Milta Power there, lining up on that wall, going, okay, what's the next play? They didn't look scared. They weren't going too quickly. They were just being very patient. They were sitting and going, okay, what are we going to be doing next? And then they make the most harebrained, like, under pressure play, it felt like, right? Another team I would have expected that from. Not from Nongshim, not with the presence of mind they seem to have while in the smash point. They are not a team that falls under pressure, and it felt like they just did in that moment, so very, very odd. Next game, though, still that chance. No one's quite caught up to that smash zone, so really EA still the only competitor for them right now. Game 3, we can do this.
I'm going to pivot the topic again. Sorry, I'm all over the place. There's so much to talk about right now. But I want to talk about, actually, the MVP race, which is actually, we could have a dark situation on our hands, which is we saw Eren being top damage dealer, he had a ton of eliminations, and they're currently at the very bottom of the first page. We could have a situation where they're nowhere near winning the tournament, and a player on Ulf could actually become your PMWC 2026 MVP. Got to be careful there because he is in 4th position, but it's Hyunbin, it's Tizzy dominating here for Nocturne Red Force.
It is, and Hora with that performance that we just saw there, Sleepy being able to put up the numbers. Aaron, you were talking about it as well, but we have a lot of fans here in the arena. We got 4 tries, we got a bunch more over there from GodLike. Let's see what Barney's currently up to.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've said it time and time again that we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the fans. We've got so many around the arena, so before we dive into our 3rd map of the day, it is time to check in with them. And so, Furia, GodLike, make some noise! Kilaris, who have you got with you, buddy?
Yeah, that's all well and good, but I've got Nigma Galaxy. Make some noise! Thunder's applause for Nigma Galaxy! What have you got going on, Barney? Lottie, what have you got?
James, Barney, you're not ready because I'm here with 14.
You can hear the celebration in the arena. I'm sure you can hear it at home as this Hall of Heroes echoes with every fan's hopes and dreams, giving out their energy because the tournament still goes on. Not ending in a Game 2 smash, we run it right back. And anticipation has reached fever pitch here in France. Everyone's loving it.
Having a great time here in the arena. The Nigma Galaxy fans getting ready. I mean, they have played very well today, Lord, making a great showing on that first match, but goodness me, what an event, what atmosphere we've got here in our arena. Lovely to see all support coming out for our players, for our teams here. Potentially the last match. Ooh, maybe. Felt like on that last one, weren't quite able to get it there for Nongshim Red Force. They kind of make a bit of a Hail Mary. Didn't work out. But we do have our 3rd match coming up. Erangel Nice and steady map here to get yourself a chicken dinner on. Nongshim might be waiting for later on in the day, though. Hitting another big Miramar, but will someone beat them to the punch? Will E-Arena start stepping back up again?
A lot of fine margins. And a room that's getting rowdier and rowdier each game that goes by. But we'll focus on the here and now, the present that is the fact. We've been presented with a third game here live from EWC. PMWC has not stopped delivering, and I don't doubt this game will be anything different. We're back on Erangel, playing path established.
Last match, a little bit difficult, honestly. I don't blame a lot of our teams for struggling slightly there. Very, very southern playing path to start things off. Awkward drop spots, awkward rotates, quick switch out towards the eastern side. Not an easy game to confirm a chicken dinner on. This time around, really, really gentle playing path. Straight across the center. No one's complaining. Everyone's had a lovely in-flight meal, and we are ready to get going again. Things spread across the entirety of the map. So a lot of room to rotate, Jackie, but where's the circle?
Well, if history is anything to go by with some of the circles we've had here this event, it might be something a little bit spicy for this one.
It might be. Might just be. Fair bit of Sosnovka pulled into play here down towards the south side. We got plenty of water in play. Teams have to start getting their feet wet into this one to make it happen. Those bridge crossings, absolutely diabolical. Aurora, also tough decisions. S2G, bit of a menace team to run into on that eastern side, but Fourth Thrives have been consistently oppressive over towards the west. So hard decisions need to be made for this squad. They get in vehicles, likely will loop down towards the south side of the map. They've been praying for a southwest shift on this one. Over towards farm, Nongshim Red Force will get moving. Planting those seeds of destiny. Hopefully get themselves another chicken dinner today. E-Arena far out over towards the northwest side, South George. Long distance on this one.
And of course, for those of you at home that don't want to forget the event, make sure you get stuck in with that Naruto in-game event that's been going on. Pick up that awesome Ninetales Fury Org and try and make plays like some of the best we've seen over the tournament.
One of the best right here on our screens in Mormon. For E-Arena, he has been the man. Seriously good stuff from him. So many clutch plays, so many moments where it felt dire and Mormon was able to pull it back for the squad. Looking to do the same here in the final day. They've already achieved the smash ruling. As we said earlier on the desk, the only two teams to currently do it, but do think that that will change after match 3 if we don't end it all here and now. Right now you have that serene sense for E-Arena as well as Nongshim Red Force that there is only one other squad in the lobby that could beat you to the punch.
I do think, mate, with our S2G have looked, if you could come alive here, get a bit of a big boost off this game, they've still got a chance to be a dark horse, to be able to upset in this lobby. And I think we saw some of that talent yesterday when they were fighting under so much pressure as well. In disadvantaged situations from distance, Amzi G, he was popping off. There's a lot they can do, bro. You know, we touched on Kamikaze an awful lot over the event, but I think it's that duo that brings so much firepower. So we'll see what they got this time.
Hamzi as well as Kamikaze looking great. And for S2G, they're a team that's put up quite a lot of chicken dinners so far, actually. I think they're currently on 3. Looking to break that record, though I think it will be difficult today to do that, since get up towards 5, and by the time they get to 5, they should have also just won at that point.
Be over.
That's a smash. So possibilities of broken records ruined by the format for them. But I do think they would be happy with the win, regardless.
Yeah, I don't think it'd bother them too much, right?
Yeah, so for S2G, certainly a possibility here. Only 6 points on this game that's needed for them. For Aurora, we are looking towards 9. Enigma Galaxy is going to have to be a bigger match. 22 points on that one, which is almost certainly going to be a chicken dinner. But yeah, a lot of teams looking to breach that smash ruling as we come into match 3, which is where it always gets stressful. Hot Jukes, a little documentary style earlier on today, was saying that he'd love to see 6 teams towards that final match, all vying it out for the chicken dinner. Has felt like a lot of times internationals do go to that 6th match no matter what, and even in PMMI, ooh, for Nongshin Red Force, oh my god, he's alive. For Nongshin Red Force, he did go to match 6 when they got that smash. Satan immediately peeling off there for Enigma Galaxy, but they are in close contention with 4 Thrives, who are exiting from Ferry Pier and Yellows.
Four Thrives, they've been loving these fights versus Enigma the entire event. Always able to catch them on their egress. I was just as surprised as you were. He actually got out from that one. But Lord, not lucky enough to bypass Ida. That back and forth conversation between those two teams continues even this far into the event. Emre running down Lord to get that confirmation off.
Yeah, now that idea of getting the chicken dinner and getting into smash ruling feels a little further away. 4 Thrives will aggress over towards Ida. Should hit them up towards the 100 now, so they've also hit the century on this game. Getting ever closer to that count. Nongshin Red Force was able to make a fairly good rotation towards the central position. They like to play around this area. They are cut in with S2G though. Slightly scary spot to be working with. Very central. Still only here in zone 1. Anything can happen as long as they're set up. Position to move from should be okay. Ulf finds S-Power. There is a clap back from Admino, who immediately will flush out Scarface. So full-on engagement here between Ulf as well as GodLike.
Already big shots being connected. And it's wiped up so quickly. Ulf withstand the pressure. They do lose one player, but they can get Eren back up, and that's a key piece of the puzzle for them. Keep him in play, reset with the meds, and grab the extra loot.
I mean, for Eren, what a run it's been for him during this tournament. Max was highlighting him on the desk of how much he was able to really prove himself here at this event, despite having some awkward moments, honestly. Still remember his crash at the gas station, which went terribly wrong, but even then he is putting up numbers. OG do take a knock there to Tiamba, who have been sadly very quiet after day 1. A majority of the points earned there, if they were able to replicate anything like that day 1 and day 2 or day 3, they would have won this tournament by a mile. Sadly, that's just not the case. Trying to get back into the mix of it now, though, as Milu. So that's a look for these nades.
Maru on about half HP there. AKOP in the back line. Ooh, nice arc from Milu. Milu, the madman, when he's feeling himself, he can do so much damage on a battleground. He's got back up from the boys. If they can get out of this one cleanly, maybe they can at least try and ruin some of the runs for the other squads above them. And Milu keeps it going to get that flush as well, so that will remove Aru. Hard cut him out. Blue coming in to make it a bit more suffocating between these two sides.
Quite a few nades already expended here from Tiamba as well as OG. We're right in zone 2 now. Blue starts to tickle a fair bit. QZZ gets a bit panicked there. Will drop a couple of shots through and then immediately ascend in Milu. He's just going to prime the nade. That's a nice one from him. Good patience. Lets it go through. Is he going to peek this onto AKOP? It's me. Does not care in the slightest. Friendly fire. Denies the point.
Oh, yeah. And they're going to bounce around, make sure they clean up on that one. Trying to snatch away some of the earnings from it. Good to see Tiamba, though, getting a bit of fanfare back from the crowd and big plays from Milu. I think he was sat on about 11 elims off the back of 3 games back on day 1 as well, mate.
He's a killer, that's for sure. Tiamba lucky to have him. Great to see him back on the team again. Some subs came through yesterday, Shallow in, Milu out, but looks like he is ready to play today. Gameplay looks clean. For Nongshim Red Force, hard rotate up towards that north side. We've got Dip in play, but not fully. At least we did confirm away from the south side. A lot of the water got cut out immediately. A hard shift over towards the northwest, and an easy rotate now for Tiamba to actually get in.
There's Catch popping up in the elim feed. Couple shots over towards the Furia squad. Furia that have been a little bit more shaky today in some of the battles we've seen. Hasn't been as cutthroat. We'll see if that one results in a bit of a flush. Seems like they have grabbed Igor's backup for now, so he'll live on. Nongshim just ahead of the Aurora crew that have made their rotation over the bridge, left of Novka. Oh, are they going in for this aggro?
Aurora might be looking just to swing on the coastal side, deny as much sidelines as possible. Top though, playing an anchor backstop here, taking some good shots. There is another play here alongside him with Doc. Hamzi G at distance, also watching, so this is a dangerous rotate here for Aurora, because even if they get down towards the beachhead, S2G might have a sightline with Hamzi, and we know just how good Hamzi is at distance. An eagle eye on him. Nades go through, but so easy, brushes them off.
Dirt off the shoulder for so easy. Can't keep this man down right now. 3 of their nades invested, so draining some of the early offensive utility, but it looks like they've still got a good supply, at least on Dock with 5 in the backpack. Meanwhile, Arena pushing back up over towards Ulf Ketch, trying to catch an escape plan. Dives behind the driving, but it's not quick enough as Joker will adjust his crosshair and find that one on the exit. Mormon takes a knock back over.
Bit of a disjointed Irish exit there from Ulf. Alula under pressure though, as S2G just flies in over towards the garages. R3B in the corner, and S2G cleans it up. Not a single player lost. Should be able to get that res. Nongshim Red Force, in the meantime, after seeing those players leaving, did get that leapfrog on, so they get a little bit further into the circle here. Milter, not the main feature. If we go down towards the southeast, we know just how good Nongshim can be in an urban finish, thriving in the concrete jungles.
So no overcommit. Like you touched on, Aurora just controlling some of the rotation paths with the coast firmly under their foot. Map geometry favoring them from this position. They opt to go for the 2-2 split. Rufus and Top further over near the area we see Vitality starting to encroach upon. Whilst Joel and Doc, 2 players with very heavy hands if you do want to challenge them in a raw duel, play off each other.
It's actually a possibility right now with S2G leaving. I don't know if Aurora is able to spot that. They certainly don't see Hamzi G continuing to peak the angle, but now they have free capability to actually make an eastern ramp if they want. Right now they're holding 2 fairly decent locations in terms of vision onto the map, but they are right on the edge, so eventually they'll have to move. I think likely what's going to happen is they'll wait for zone 4, make a decision from there how they want to rotate in. But there's a lot of free space over towards the eastern side, and already Doc is going to scout it. Yeah, that's exactly what I thought was going to happen. Get a little bit further up, realize that actually this space is kind of open at the moment for us to get a little bit more of an eye in towards the circle.
That's the kind of premium real estate that man like Doc's going to instantly sniff out and be confident enough to rep himself to take control of. We'll see how this pans out long term for Aurora.
Next circle though. We're going to define a lot of how this works, and we are down towards Milter. Nongshim might be thinking about making a move right now, and they're instantaneous. This is way better than last game. Last game felt late on those rotates. It felt like they were still making decisions. This time they are much quicker with it. Out to the outside edge, not confirmed towards milter yet. Still giving them the capability to move out towards the field should this move towards the west. But now they're going to have a swivel on towards all the teams around them. Aurora recalling Reefus back towards the squad as teams start to surge towards milter.
Timing on this is going to be so dangerously tight, though. They all caught vision on one another. Ida have already entered close. Three-man split. Solo's playing in a line there for Aurora with the wrap in late. Rufus, seeing the backline of Vitality, knows he's got to go down towards the coast and then assist the team. Tiamba getting shots off as well. That's Ulf. Oh, you're going to be eating shrapnel on this one. Wide arc down towards the roadside.
Solus and Aaron here by the toll gates. It's always an awkward spot, very nadeable. Couple of positions you could play around inside the toll booth itself to try and dodge those close quarters ordnance. Oh my god, there's mollies everywhere. Aaron can barely move. He has to find an opening with this nade, but for Ulf it's looking like it's more and more over. XZY goes down to a nade from Reefus. Doesn't push it though. Should be resable.
That's two players knocked as well. We saw Vitality getting the first domino falling onto Nongshim, then the assist coming in from Aurora. The Nongshim Smash squad might have come unstuck early.
Oof, it's far, it's far. It's so hard. He kind of needs to get over the top and try and pick him up, but with the vehicle's currently slammed, it's really difficult to do. Just about holds the res. He was so low. Tizzy perched himself on the rubble of the wall. Oh, that was close, Jackie.
I think we just saw Federales get a single tap onto Hyunbin as well. He was looking for the drop with the smoke, wanted to try get down there and assist, took a single bullet, had to hit the deck again. Thankfully, smoke's out, limited cover as well with the walls, so the geometry playing in their favor. You can go for another res. They might be able to recover it cleanly.
I think that they won't be recovering, though, is all this utility that they just spent getting those players back up again. How many smoke launchers do they still have left? Vexy finds Tizzy again. Nongshim under mad pressure at the moment between two separate squads, both looking towards them. Just have to hold on for the time being. Stop peeking, honestly, but I feel like they realize they... Another team on Smash ruling out, and Tiamba survives as for Just. Eagle inside. As always, the lurker looking to play medic for the rest of the squad here.
He might be the Eagle, but there is vultures swarming the skies around him. Other teams realizing there's been a lot of damage done here. It's a risky pickup with the position he's in. Luckily, he's got some cover from the vehicles to try and save his mates. That's Aura, though, with Jiggle getting one of them confirmed off the back of the damage that was done. So they do go down to at best a three-man squad post this pickup.
A lot of teams need to move. A lot of teams that actually fully confirmed though towards milter, now feeling a little bad about this one, which is exactly why you see Aurora playing on this edge down towards the south side and Nongshim not fully moving in. So 4 Thrives, they've got to extricate themselves. Flash have also got to pull themselves out of this one. S2G a little bit safer where they play around the warehouses and they can move up over towards that top side, be playing over towards Toll Booth later. But it's Aura right now who actually own the majority of the space on the northern edge. 4 Thrives opening up over towards Aurora as they move.
That backline in is good to at least take some of the heat off. Force attention turned back onto 4 Thrives from Aurora. Vitality have just been really running interference from this angle as well. If there's a peek up from Hyunbin, they're harassing with shots. If they can get LOS back over onto the coast of Aurora, it's punishing as well.
For Nongshim Red Force, they know the shots came from Vitality earlier, so this is sort of the team they need to deal with first. The one thing I really worry about for Nongshim, though, is how exposed the vehicles have been this entire time. You got to imagine that wheels are blown out, if not vehicles fully exploded. They do have to move further in towards the circle, likely will be on foot, unless they can find some kind of vehicle in the near future. Vitality's going to go for a mad rotate over towards the northwest side. They hear the fighting. They notice that Nick McGallis down. This is a good opportunity to go for. Vexy helping from the back lines. Really like this push from Vitality.
Ralph's on an island. Last man left alive and not breathing for much longer as Razak will find that adjustment back onto Nigma, so they go down. Vexy's been good as well at providing some overwatch for this squad. Showing up when they needed him. Fury are on the move close by, shots from either side, so a lot of information garnered towards them. They advance further. Silence and Co pushing up with the vehicles, going to peek over the top of the rocks. There's Tiamba in the distance, nades being thrown onto Vitality, a backline potential. Igor goes in, big sprays, assisted by Silence. 4 Thrives taking some damage as well, the pepper back onto them.
Fury's going to move in on this, like you say. Igor's already on that front line. The rest of the team all stood alongside him now. And Vitality find themselves in a very horrendous position. Nades from Tiamba going a little bit wide here, trying to angle these through the smoke. That one should be on target. Easy cleanup. Tiamba grabbed themselves 10, 11 eliminations on this match so far. Much more reminiscent of the past, and Milu's already on 4.
Furia playing with that confidence and aggression we know they've got as 4 Thrives buckle under the pressure. Furia shutting them down in the close range combat. And Nonshin, after turtling for so long, finally knowing Vitality had been taken out of the picture, they can make a move. They're just wrapping around to where Aurora were.
This is interesting, trying to get rid of Aurora, actually. Only one player here in Reefers, potentially they've noticed that. There's actually a massive amount of space on this western side that they could clear. Tiamba's a 3-man, Furia's down to 2. Circle moves up that way, leaving Tiamba with one of the few remaining positions, and we are on toll booth. Oh my God, what a circle to end on.
Ooh, deep nades. Reefers casting that one out. Back nades as he advances to try and create a little bit of space between the teams. Distant shots coming in from Tiamba. He's got to hit the deck, but that's not the only squad you got to worry about. Lost from S2G, gets a sight line, and goodbye Reefers.
The only thing is just like kind of flashbacks to last game where there is a massive capability of moving west on this one from Nongshim and clearing up towards that north side, having all that space. You'd imagine that they saw the amount of teams that moved into Milter. They are just charging headlong into danger here, where there is so much more room to play on the northwest side. Guys, you don't need elims. You need a chicken.
And they might get barbecued if they take too much time on this one. Joel was cooking the molly. XCY so paranoid about the peak from the top side with Tiamba. And with Furia not needing to force the issue amongst them, they've got a crystal clear line of sight down onto the rotate path for Nonshin. It's so uncomfortable.
Come back, lads. Just come back off this angle. We don't need to play this anymore. You can wrap back over towards. So easy. 2 down. What is this? It makes little sense. I mean, they'd set themselves up wonderfully the entire time for this western exit. And as soon as the circle moves away from Milter, what do? Push into Milter?
The panic's there. Paralysis by analysis. The zone takes away one of the members, and we're down to just a duo. Aurora Core on their exit as Lost will be able to continue playing powerfully off this angle. XZY thankfully given a few moments of respite as he runs to try and find any cover at all.
Kamikaze from S2G, we talked from the start of the game. They have just about hit that 122 now. So they have hit that smash ruling going towards that next match. Another team steps up to the plate. They've done enough here, even if they go down. Looking to take down Ida regardless. Hams, ooh, what a shot! Reaction coming through clutch there, but Kamikaze, as always, the backbone in the team.
Standing straight and keeping S2G in a position to recover from this. Quick reactions from Ida, but a shutdown play that will let S2G fight on for another day. Flash, though, getting eaten alive by Hora. Wrapping down the ridge, the nades bouncing in. Tops is down. And Kamikaze scanning to see what more points they can steal.
Hora on for a big game here, actually, Jackie. Looking to push themselves further in the rankings. Only 2 eliminations so far, but so much more to grab here as most teams are bruised and bleeding coming into these final zones. Tiamba also having a good time of it. Nade's going over the top here from Nongshim Red Force, rolling down, and we are directly on top of Toll Booth now.
That's okay falling. XZY getting the tags off. They've been under constant pressure the entire time. It's not clean. It's awkward.
Not even a helmet on So Easy here anymore.
Mate, you're playing with a bare minimum. Concessions had to be made, but a nade could be coming their way. Lost with 2 left in the back pocket. The first one thrown in looks good for the bounce. Oh, see ya!
Double bouncer. XZY is down. Comes to the end of his line there. Nongshim is floundering at the moment. Confusing moves. Win though from the backlines, will get the backstab, but immediately spotted out by Lost here. S2G absolutely have done enough, but they're looking to push further into this game, as is So Easy.
They're trying to send a message with this one. It's not just about what they needed to get into Smash. They want to prove that they can be the big dogs in the lobby. Response back over them. Hamza G eating the nade from Hora as Hora are lighting up the sky. Explosion after explosion on top of the Turkish team. They are stuck on the ridge and cannot advance. Backline attack from Tiamba from way over the other side. And Tiamba keeping the pressure on. Trying to get that pick up in. Lost with limited space to play off. In comes the nade. Oh! Sky makes it work and S2G go down.
S2G blown sky high behind the tree there. Let me introduce you to the biggest dog in the lobby. Hora on the northeast side. So Easy with barely a hope in this match, but still hanging on. Furia dashed by the roadside, leaving just Hora, Tiamba, Nongshim Red Force in this endgame. For Nongshim, the best thing about this is that even if there isn't a smash win, this is keeping them contention for the top spot, at least.
It's going to be big for the placements. And is there a chance of some sheer shenanigans from So Easy? He's crossing his fingers, mate. But you've got a hard task ahead of you.
This guy's got has to have him here. Just the peeks over a little bit. So Easy's trying to hide his face behind the barest of pylons behind this railing. It is just not nice. Come on, he has to do something. Oh, they've smoked him.
Hang on a minute.
Cheers, lads. I really needed that.
He's tucked in behind it. There's no real angle from the backside as well from Tiamba, so it just depends. I mean, if Hora go for the hard force over...
This is mad.
Yeah, this could get cheeky quite quickly. Sleepy would have burned down as well. The vehicle... Oh, it's all going wrong! So Easy on the peacock, good for one, and Tiamba assisting with the shots from the top. He's going to try first on these as well.
Hora on the assist with an unreal smoke. Mollies go in, nades go wide, and he is out. Tiamba will clean up.
Nongshim were looking to blot out the sun on that one with a surprise plays, but it's not going to happen now. And Hora solo remains with the advancement of Tian, but the nade goes over. Sky got a backpedal. Runs back to whatever cover he can find. Can he trust in his source on this one? Holding the peak, ready for the shots. Eagle gets knocked out of the Sky. QZZ with a reposition as Sky advances forward with a shotgun in his hand. Nade being cooked by Milu, and this man don't miss.
Good damage, QZZ falls over the second, and Tiamba is back. What a fantastic game. The 3-man inside just felt like these guys needed a little bit of confidence. And that star on the match reinvigorates whatever light died out in Milu on day 2. It is back on now, and it is blaring.
They started that game as they meant to proceed. The aggression was there. The despicable nade plays from Milu that always give you that gut-wrenching feeling of how does he do it. Continued from start to finish. The shots are on point. and a pathway begins to present itself.
Aura's got to be mad at themselves, though. Imagine just smoking off so easy.
The smoke into the tire pot on the career down the hill. Oh, but
they really did careen off course there. Looked so good up until that point. Covering their angles, clearing their spots out. So easy. He was mega confused. I would have loved to see in his face in that moment. Pure shock. He's like, is that the nade moved away from me? He's like, wait, actually.
That's the smoke. I can pass that.
Nice. That's great. I didn't have one of those before, you know?
No utility left, but they gave him what to be nice. And then Tianbo with the perfect timed nades.
Man, so good. There was a small part of me that thought that So Easy was going to clutch up. Small part of me. But I am glad it was Tianbo.
Oh, yeah. Tiny percentage, but it started to get a little bit bigger with how things were going. But hey, a Tianbo win is a very exciting prospect. Such a fun team to watch, Blank, bringing the heat in finals.
They're just a fast-paced team, and I think what we've seen them from before is just a little bit of that sluggish gameplay where they weren't quite able to make those plays, and they've been desperately banging on that door, but it's just been not going down. And I think Milu right there just put a foot through it. So it looks good. It looks way better now. They're pulling off those maneuvers too. So yeah, great work to Tianbo. Really, really happy to see it. And it was, I think for me, it was fantastic to see these guys happy.
Yeah.
I think that was my favorite thing about that win.
It's nice to see him smiling, nice to see the success story of how they're playing. And mate, you're right. I think if there was a door there, Milu not only kicked it down, he just destroyed the entire house.
He's just a whirlwind.
Yeah. Came through, blowing everyone away. And mate, I'd love to see that. I hope that continues.
I hope it does continue as well. For Tianbo, it's not over yet. We haven't rung the bell. They might have been uppercutted, but they have got back up again. The count did not finish. It's scary, no? Going into these final matches, we've got 3 teams at match point right now. It's S2G, E-Arena, as well as Nongshim. Nongshim's been making some crazy decisions. E-Arena, sadly, on the other hand, have just not been able to eke out those performances so far. It's felt a little bit timid from that team. S2G, though, I think this is a worrisome squad to have in that top 3 because they could just light it up at any moment now. Unless the pressure gets to him, which it seems to be the case for quite a few of our teams.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the contrast we're painting there for E-Arena, right? Where it feels like you had some flash-in-the-pan moments, but now it's come to, you just got to follow through. It's not happening, whereas S2G, we know they can strive for greatness. It feels like championship mentality is going hand in hand with their aggression, the way they're approaching these lobbies. All it takes, one big game. Could be a championship right there. But stay tuned for that. We'll find out. The narrative continues. Do not go anywhere.
Human body was built to move. Not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you. Gamers, hybrid workers, artists. Backing your every move.
points?
I mean, at least they do. I did see that they had a really fantastic rotation around from just massive wraparounds into Milta and then out of it. But yeah, 4 points is all they're going to get for that fantastic nades from Hora. Oh my goodness me. You were talking about it, right, Max? Sky is fantastic with the nades today. Really, really on point. Tiamba, I mean, honestly, the word that I would use for both Tiamba and Hora, they're feeling very intense. You don't want to go up against them. Look at those sprays. Long range, through the smokes. There's no escaping this team.
What are those sprays from QZZ? Oh my god. That was crazy stuff going out from him. I mean, he was just lasering everyone through the smokes. Incredible stuff. But at the end, Hora, another solid finish, right?
Yes.
Sure, maybe not chicken dinner, but it's a strong back-to-back, but so easy. In that smoke, actually, that was a smoke right from Hora Niptra. I thought maybe if he stays hidden, he could third-party it, but at the end, Tiamba put the nail in the coffin.
That's something that I was actually hoping that So Easy was going to do. He was going to end up waiting a little bit longer, maybe use that smoke to his advantage. But Max, he didn't want to wait for that third-party option. He just wanted to take matters into their own hands. And it goes back to what we're saying with Namshim. It feels like they're being passive, but they're not quite sure when to be aggressive and when to flip that switch.
They are a little bit hesitant, right? And that's the thing about the Smash ruling. Love it or hate it, teams, the mindset does change a little bit when you do have that chance of getting those chicken dinners. It is quite stressful for now. Not just 2 teams, but 3 teams. S2G are going to be joining their ranks, but of course S2G got 3 chicken dinners so far in the finals, so they're looking like a team that could actually wrap it up. But looking at the rotations this game in particular, I know you in particular, Niptra, were quite critical about their push on the western side of Milta. There were other options that maybe could have been more valuable.
Absolutely. I think any... Oh, wait, hang on.
Hold on.
That's my clip right there. So looking at this split, so actually S2G, sorry, I have to jump into it. We're very split. Lost solo, literally in the 1v4. And even then, he's popping off, but he's also getting a bit of assistance from the teams on the other side of the road, right? His particular Kamikaze's got a fantastic angle. And there, the backup. This is literally the play that gets them into the Smash Zone. Solke going to be sending it forward. He's going to be joined up then by Habsajijukan, absolutely superhero style in the building. And they get 1, get 2, get 3, and the final player. And because of that, they get the 4-man reset and actually get enough points to enter the Smash Zone. What a hero save play of the day. They don't do that, they would still not be over that 122-point threshold.
It's insane. I think I missed that play. Thank you for that replay, because oh my goodness me.
So HamCG is just like crashing the wall. We are not going out.
They just send it. Absolutely send it. And that's what we want to see out of some teams. Being able to send it. E-Arena, one team that's currently also running into that struggle when we talk about teams struggling that are already in the Smash Zone lace for E-Arena.
That was Tiamba's fault. I don't know, like I have to bring it to Tiamba because obviously E-Arena, you know, they had a nice little path in there, but Tiamba were actually positioned in such a great spot that they were so annoying to every team. This is Aurora. This was obviously even helping S2G in that fight. They were able to sort of gatekeep that area from E-Arena as well. And so it's unfortunate that we're seeing like E-Arena not being able to push into the position early enough because they are still sort of playing that edge.
They are going to be playing that edge, but right now they need to get that win if they want to be able to win via Smash Rule. They are one of those teams currently in the Smash Zone. Keep in mind, E-Arena started off the day with 112 points. They have only gotten 11 points so far after 3 matches.
And 10 out of those 11 have been in Rondo. Because remember, they hit 122. That's where they were. In the last 2 games, they've gotten 1 point. What is happening to E-Arena? You're looking so strong.
Yeah, transitioning to some of the other teams, right? I'm going to be looking at 4 Thrives Esports. This is a team, Max, that we thought was going to continue on that momentum. Remember, this is a team that usually is able to carry on momentum. They're still hesitant. They're still showing those things that we've been critiquing this whole PMWC at EWC 26, which is hesitance at times.
I was hoping they were not going to doubt themselves because they're not in the Smash Zone. And like what we saw in PMGO Season 1, where they were actually very stressed and Ulf almost were able to close a 50-point gap over the course of those 6 matches. But no 4 Thrives, a bit shaken here. And actually, Niptra, one play that you highlighted is that 3-1 split, right? You had Huzaifa on his own, 3 players in the city. That was a bit of a head-scratcher, right?
Yeah.
He was by himself.
Huzaifa was by himself. I could see maybe what they're trying to do is hedge their bets, but he was in such a difficult position, and it's a shame that he actually, when they actually wrapped around outside of the town as well to go back, Huzaifa ended up being taken out early, so that's a shame.
As I'm looking at the teams here, all the way up to 11th place, 92 points. These teams are getting closer and closer. They're kind of giving a bit of an advantage there, since some of the teams towards the top are choking a little bit, are not being able to get that many points. For those teams on the second page, what that's going to be costing Neptura and Lays and Maxman, it's just going to be costing for all those teams to just get closer and closer. There's a lot of money at stake right now when we end up talking about some of these squads. Let's see. Well, we have some of the comments on social media as well. One chicken for 40, and then you see what's domination is. Yeah, but right now we're not seeing the domination. We want to see that domination from 4 Thrives, right? Yeah! Let's see if they'll be able to deliver for their fans here at the arena. But for some of the other teams, right, we're now talking about, let's go back to Hora, because Hora is stopping a lot of those teams towards the top from getting those points. The teams towards the top need to be able to find some kind of adjustment to that aggressiveness that we're seeing out of Hora.
Yeah, them, Tiamba also, Hora in particular, they have nothing to lose, right? They're like, okay, we have to go hard or go home today. We have to initiate that comeback and leave the second page, which with the last 2 games on Erangel, they've been doing. We have one more Erangel coming up, right? So maybe we can finally see a Hora chicken dinner. That will be very exciting here in the finals of PMWC. But Tiamba, I feel like they're a team that in this lobby, if they get a knock and a flush on a player that's or Arena or Nongshim Red Force, and maybe now also S2G, they just fully capitalize on it. And I love it. They really are one of the few teams that are delaying this tournament until the very, very end.
I mean, I sort of just want to bring your attention to Furia because they are still sort of in that 90 points there. And from that previous game, they were holding the western side. Obviously, Hora was sort of taking out the rest of S2G. They did nothing. They didn't even rotate and swing around where Hora was, which would have capitalized their elimination. So they're kind of not being as present as they usually are.
It could be ending here in this next match. My prediction was in 4 matches. How many matches did you have, Natura?
4.
Max?
4.
Lace?
I was hoping for 2, so mine's it.
Okay, yours is absolutely good.
Okay.
But let's see if it's going to be ending here in match number 4, or if we're just going to be getting a bunch more teams joining in this Smash Zone.
Will this be it? We are about to find out. S2G joins the fray. Now 3 different squads could smash.
3 teams with that opportunity in our final edition of Erangel at the PMWC. It is going to go a little bit further than maybe some were expecting, given how today started, getting 2 teams into that smash zone so early on. But that double Milter shift on both of our zones has kind of thrown a spanner in the works. I mean, for Nongshim, right, they're dropping around that area, they're getting pushed in around the bridge. It seemed like they didn't quite have the force to be able to push their way out, right? They're still earning a lot of points on these games, though. So if it does go the full distance, they may just be able to win it out like that.
That's what you got to do at the end of the day. Is you got to try to win this whole thing in as many different ways as possible. And that is going to be, you're going to smash, or you're going to end up with the most points on the leaderboards at the end of the day. And Nongshim Red Force with that double Milta circle, like you mentioned, is just putting in the work. Problem is, though, is that if we get another one, I mean, everyone's going to know by now exactly where they're at. So the focus is going to, I think, shift a little bit. But this could be the game where we get another crazy Erangel circle to finish out the PMWC here at EWC live in Paris. You can see these players cracking their knuckles, getting ready to drop in one last time.
On Erangel, that will be the final bill. 3 teams, as you say before. Out of those 3, I feel like for my money, given today's games, I'm favoring either S2G or Nongshim Red Force. I feel like for me, Arena today has been solid, consistent, but not a game-winning team. And I need to see a little bit more from them to be confident in their ability to fully confirm on that smash. But we've seen them do some crazy stuff, right? They have broken records on their road here, and now they're in with a chance to take that title, give Schweppes his 3rd performance at a global level to get a global stage title with those 2 PMWI trophies already behind him, looking for a 3rd time to take it home.
Well, here comes the big one. We're here in Paris, folks. Let's make some noise as this is the last Erangel of the tournament. Could this be the final match? That's the question we're about to find out as we're looking now at the plane. These players are locked, loaded, ready to go. And we got one going right down the middle here in a nice diagonal coming from George all the way down to Novo.
Yeah, going to give a lot of access to everywhere on the map here. Shouldn't be too many hot drops. I know we've seen a couple of those certainly earlier on. I mean, in our first Erangel, we had that hot drop over near the Gatka fields that was a little bit questionable. GodLike not super happy about that, but there have been performances across the board here. Sorry, Ida. I think it was Ida and Tianbo actually who were on that hot drop earlier on, but still, yeah, a really tricky situation shouldn't be unfolding here this time around. Nobody dropping straight to North George, maybe just grabbing some vehicles and heading there later. Orangutan sending WizGod very far up north, isolated from the rest of the roster. Potentially, again, just grabbing a vehicle, gonna break out and rejoin in a moment. As we take a look at our top players, though, it's a three-way tie with Ulf, Nongshim Red Force, and Horror all having their representatives on our highest elimination counts.
Oh!
And it's a milli-circle.
Let's go. I saw some people pop up in the stands after seeing that zone shift. Here we are in military. All right. Aurora are going to be down there. Nongshim Red Force are going to be close to this circle as well. Man, oh man, Arigale doesn't disappoint here. As, yeah, we had to just touch military just one more time, huh?
Hey, we got to do it. We got to do it to them. Aurora already dropping there, obviously, could potentially have some fast rotates there. What we've seen as well from Nongshim Red Force is a lot of times where they've been able to transition very effectively over towards the military island. They've had 2 chicken dinners on 3 of their military island finishes, which is going to hopefully be something that they can repeat. That's what they're looking for here. So a big opportunity for Nongshim, who tends to go for the rotate of one player off of the shark fin, rotate down south fairly early on circles like this, try and get a foothold on the north side of the island and work from there. That's what they're going to be looking for. But if we've seen it, the other teams have seen it too.
Yep.
So is anyone going to try and counter that?
Yeah, you know that these teams are prepared to their gills. They know exactly what these teams are going to do. It's just, how are they going to execute it? That's going to be the question. Speaking of execution, if we look at the leaderboards right now, there are some teams that could still definitely win this whole tournament further down. I'm looking even all the way down to Team Flash, Aura, Furia, right? In my mind, though, it's getting to the point to where if they're going to win this thing, it's going to be via Smash, right? And if they're going to Smash, they have this game, and they have one more game to get within that threshold, okay? So if you look at Flash with 92 points, that's still quite a few away to get to that 122, but they have to do it in these next 2 games because you have to hit that threshold and then win the next game.
Absolutely. I mean, from 12th down, I feel like it is pretty much done and dusted for the title, unfortunately. 74 points, putting you really, really far behind of that Smash threshold. Unless everybody else in the entire lobby stops earning points and you just keep going on a points victory, maybe. But still, I'm not too sure about that one. So for 12th down,
48. Yeah, that's 48.
I'm having a bad time thinking about their prospects moving on forwards, which is unfortunate. But there are opportunities for the rest of the lobby to keep that ball rolling. As you say, Flash really very much on an outside chance. I feel like anyone below 7th place is in that same boat, right? Having a really, really tough time, and even in 7th, 6th, and 5th to boot, it's going to be really rough. It will necessitate a chicken dinner in this match.
Yep.
To go across. This is that Nongshim Red Force rotate.
Here they go.
To tune in with our teams in the Smash zone. Nongshim Red Force now across to the military island. S2G went very, very quickly, which makes me question how much loot they're going to have on board to try and hold this. Nongshim took a little bit longer to get across, which is going to give them some more power, some more backstop of utility of supplies. And Aurora, of course, dropping over in that military base. They're not in the Smash zone just yet, but they are the team that is closest to it. Only 7 points behind right now. E-Arena, they're still in South George. It's very likely that they're going to take a long time to go for this rotate.
Yeah, super unlucky on the side of E-Arena. They've had to do the longest rotations in Arigale all day today, and I think that's why we've seen them not have as much success as normal. But this is a perfect zone for Nongshim, right? They're going to have the north side of military all to themselves. They know this side of the map like the back of their hand. Enigma Galaxy, in the meantime, starting to mix in a little bit with Ida, a team they're super familiar with as they battled with them in Pachinki at the start here of the finals.
I mean, it felt like, Ida were across the bridge a lot earlier than this. They just did not have a setup.
No.
So, Enigma Galaxy getting across pretty much for free on that location is a great result for the squad. They are, of course, 22 points behind that Smash bubble, but she'll need to try and push past in the next, as you say, 2 matches.
Yep.
To break on in there. And now Ulf could potentially try and roll across the bridge, but they are going to roll into a much harder stopping block, I imagine, given that Ida have now kind of solidified out to the west side of that exit, and Nick Galaxy hold the compound to the east side of the bridge.
Interested to see the kind of plays we're going to see from these teams, especially in that lower part of the leaderboards, because they want to still win this. It's still possible, but what kind of different play styles are we going to see? Like even GodLike with 74 points. To make it possible, they need a 25-point game here and in the next one. So they'd have to go and just eliminate everybody, right? So I would want to see aggression no matter what from them. Team Flash with 92 points, right? They're going to be hunting down that 122. That's 30 points in the next 2 games. So 15 and 15, much more manageable, right? At the same time, that's a chicken dinner with 5 eliminations, so it's not going to come easy.
Hey, we're just going to see.
Sure.
We're just going to have to see what happens in this game, because right now 4 Thrives with their opportunity crashing into S2G with theirs as well. 1 step closer to the smash zone. 4 Thrives denied there as S2G put their first point on the board after gaining that smash point in that last game and holding this south edge. I mean, they're feeling all right. They're feeling all right. We're still waiting for Zone 2 to really decide where it's going to go.
Yeah.
I have this sort of bubbling feeling in my stomach, Jukes. And it is, what if we get a really hard north shift and we go back to the mainland?
Ooh,
It's so unlikely, and it's not even really worth bringing up. But I just have that little feeling. I'm like, oh, what? Oh. Back of my neck is prickling. My spidey senses.
The John Allen tingle.
That's right.
Is in effect here, folks. If we see that northern shift, oh boy, will this be one heck of a party here. Fortunate for 4 Thrives, they're on that most southern part of military, just thinking they can kind of get some of that loot. S2G finding one of their players isolated, and that's IQ gone, just like that. Only player out of the lobby so far. Looking on over, there's still a lot of teams that are in the blue zone still. I mean, we got E-Arena still in South George, so they're going to be pushing in super late. Tianba's up there, GodLike's up there, Aura are still just crossing. Yes, Naya. So a lot of teams going to be very, very late on this rotate.
Little family outing for Vitality. Pop into the hovercraft, luggage in the boot. Getting that fuel back on board. Minimal vehicles, though. Makes this south side for them a lot more difficult to navigate. I'm not too happy with the amount of mobility that they're going to have. They do need to potentially try and find some vehicles or steal some from another team, as our circle will be coming in fairly soon. Yeah, for Vitality, might be a foot-based approach for the future if that hovercraft draws the fire like we see it. The circle shifts out west, and it does keep a lot of that military island in. It's got to push Al-Ula away from Novo, and the teams on the east bridge potentially going to have a little bit of a hurry up, but Al-Ula have that outpost over to the west. The east bridge, it's going to be a fairly easy disagreement to settle, I imagine, for Flash and Orangutan. Not for either of the 2 teams, but it should be a fairly simple solution for whichever team comes out on top. At the moment, looks like Orangutan might have the better end of the stick because the res does need to come through.
Res needs to happen. Unfortunate for Al-Ula, they can't catch a break. You know they wanted that observatory position so bad. But they're at the bottom of the leaderboard. It's going to have to do it the hard way. Still on the north side of this island, we got OG battling it out with Team Flash. 2 teams pretty down on the leaderboards. Trying to soak up some points here, get some extra placements. Again, Team Flash have a possibility to make a run of it. They need 15 points in this one and the next one to reach that smash zone, to try and smash in that final match. That's if we even get there. We could end this game here and now, folks. But you know what? Before it ends, you guys got to get in the game and get one of those Naruto Uzumaki skins right there. We got the Nine Tails Fury's AUG still available. Get it while you still can. Aurora, though, at 4th Thrive. This is a huge fight. They are battling it out over by these plain fields. Zol's going to have the angle there on T24. Throws the Molotov on him. He's going to have to move. The nade goes out to Zol. Picks him off a little bit. And now it's a battle. The util, he touched the molly.
Oh.
He touched it with the tiptoe and gets knocked. Another huge mistake here out of 4 Thrives.
Hey, 4 Thrives had so much momentum, but the pendulum swings back the other way. And Aurora now are another step closer. They put a second elimination point on the board. They are drawing inexorably towards that 122 metric. Now 5 points for them left to try and claim, to join for a potential smash in Miramar if we get that far, because remember, 3 teams can still win it. And we've seen 2 chicken dinners on milli circles coming from Nongshim, who have a 2-2 split on the north side of the island right now. Furia may look to try and challenge the northern point of this. And are Nongshim going to look to regroup over towards the northwest side of Millie? They will have to, at some point, decide which outpost they want to commit to. It may need another circle for them to do so.
Yeah, they're in a really great spot right now. The problem is that everyone's going to want it. And they are completely surrounded by squads. And I guarantee you, the second a team realizes Nongshim where they're at, they're going to full commit to them for sure to try and stop them. E-Arena, meanwhile, going to be coming in through the zone on the north side. Where's the shift going to go? If it goes to the bridge, oh, this is going to be straight chaotic.
It's going to go. It's going to go a little bit close to the bridge. Now Nongshim need to regroup. For my money, I think that southwest side might just be a little bit better for them. They're right next to Ida there. Fury are going to charge on in over the hills. E-Arena have yet to get across the zone as well to get towards that military island crossing. GodLike are going to contest them on it. This could be the make or break moment for E-Arena. If they can get across, they've got the backline of that coast to keep them a little bit safer, but they have to get there first and challenge off Ulf. Maybe Nigma Galaxy will join in that fray, but they have to get across.
Yeah, they're going to have to get across, and it's going to be a tough one right now. I mean, there is so many different teams crowding these bridges, and on both sides, on the eastern and western bridge. You can see Nongshim, though, they got those sandbags. They're going to be holding this hill. This is a great spot in this circle. They're going to have so many different sight lines. They can rotate away from it if necessary. They just got to watch out for the crash. These guys are set up for this one here. I'm not kidding. They are the biggest threat in this lobby right now.
It's crazy. Nongshim in a command point in this circle with the chance to smash this away. Put another military victory under their belt as well would be incredible. What a way to close it down. But they have got a long way to go. We're only 12.5 minutes into this game. And there's going to be at least 15 more of them ticking away every second. A drop of sweat beading on their foreheads of one of our players.
There's GodLike keeping an eye on E-Arena. Oh, it looks like we did get a huge knock. That's XZY.
Okay, that's resable.
Okay. Yeah, that is resable, so you should be able to get safe. Yeah, okay, so Nongshim gonna keep their player up here.
Okay.
Remember, they don't know who it is until it's flushed, so they still don't have a clue it's Nongshim just yet.
We'll be able to get that healing done. Unlikely that there's any full crashes onto this Nongshim position, given that the direction of crash would need to come from the north side at the moment, and Furia, Alola, generally not going to have the greatest of times getting across whilst each other are still there, not to mention Nigma Galaxy pushing in from that north side as well. So I feel like for the next circle 2, maybe, Nongshim Red Force going to be very, very safe and secure in this position in a central spot. I'm also looking at S2G on the southwest side. No one really contesting them. Of course, you do still have Fulak from 4 Thrives, the last player to stay alive, who could potentially find a backstop position, find an off angle, a cheap little snake in the grass play. But for S2G on the southwest side, I think they have a good run up as well once everybody else crunches in.
Yeah, there's so many teams here. I mean, S2G, Nongshim Red Force, they're going to have some big dominant positions and could win this game and end the tournament here and now. The question is how are they going to handle these fights? Do they take some of the fights early on like they normally would? Maybe not, because it's going to give away their position and a lot of attention is going to be laser focused on them. A southern shift happens. S2G have the high ground.
Now, this is really important. Sure, S2G have that high ground. This is really good for them, but Nongshim's decisions in the next minute or 2 are going to be pretty make or break. The teams on the northeast side will have to figure out who's going to take a crack at it. I feel like Nongshim can kind of stay here for a little bit longer, but they have to be able to hold out as the crossing on the bridge starts to unfold. We've got 4 teams behind the queue, and actually E-Arena are sweeping in to try and play in behind this. They think, oh, surely the eastern bridge is going to be empty. Think again.
Nope, there are a whole bunch of teams holding on this eastern bridge. There's like a bunch of squads, and IGL's had the same idea. And this is stage 4. The blue zone is really going to start chunking them here. They cannot afford to be holding here for so long. And for Team Flash, this is their chance to disrupt E-Arena.
A real big chance. E-Arena have stumbled at every block since that first match that saw them into the smash zone. And they are being denied access. So many players sit in front of them. You've even got Eagle behind in Milter for Tianba to try and make that one happen. So a really, really desperate scenario now for eArena, whilst the two teams that sit with them in the smash zone are laughing, and there goes Schweppes.
There goes Schweppes.
Unresable now, stage 4.
And now WizGod is going to be looking to get that thirst, soak up their points. They know it's eArena here. Oh, the pan shot.
Okay.
Woo! He said, okay, let me go ahead and get back to this side. Mormon desperate at this point. Just going to be full sending it across this bridge to try and survive. The blue zone chunking them down. And the crowd, you can hear them chanting. I can hear the S2G chants already. They know this looks really good, but can they finish it out?
God, this east side concluding, and we didn't really catch it on camera, but Furia went up towards Enigma Galaxy to take that fight on the northern side. They were able to take a player down and not lose any themselves, but again, that leaves no challengers from the east towards that Nongshim high ground position in those sandbag spots. Everybody from the east side is going to be coming into this zone raggedy, run through, as the eArena do manage to get across the bridge, but at the cost of Schweppes.
Yeah, at the cost of Schweppes and a whole bunch of utility as well. They're going to be going through almost all their meds here just to try and survive. And then they're going to have to get lucky into this circle. They're going to have to hope to catch a third party, something. If they do get that third party, though, and win that fight, this could be dangerous. Let's see how this works out, though, as now we're going to look at Furia getting mighty close to T-Flash. That nade just a little bit too far from Bose.
Frolok's still going. He's taking shots over on the northwest side, over at GodLike. Don't think he's going to manage to push through with complete ease, but it's a good start. As the blue zone at his back, Bose for Team Flash. Remember, they were the team that was holding out that east bridge. They alleviated that pressure, and now they might try and turn their attention to our tabletop as Nongshim Red Force in their bunker spot. It is really dicey for everybody on this east side. They have to push past such a difficult, impregnable position.
Hey, they found a spot though, right? eArena was able to find a little bit of space here and possibly some eliminations as WizGod is trying to drive by. He thought this was open. No, it's not. WizGod almost on fire, somehow still alive. And now getting taken out by Al-Ula.
All right, okay. Well, that was a crazy dash out of the open through the melee position. A team that we haven't talked about in a while is Aurora, who sit as a blocker to Al-Ula. And remember, they are a team chasing towards that smash zone. And they find a spot on towards Mormon as well, and knock over to eArena, and they are now down another player. Vitality pick up that flush. So Aurora denied the point, which could be pretty crucial if they do not make it into the smash zone here. But with Aurora in the buildings on the south side of this zone, as it pushes, by the way, away from Nongshim, that could be devastating for Aurora if they don't make it all the way.
Aurora looking dangerous, though. They're actually going to be fighting out with eArena. That's a big one, a big fight about to take off as they're waiting for this next circle. This is still stage 5, but military zones are just so dangerous. Aurora are going to have this beautiful compound for now, so they don't have to move. Right now, they're just keeping eyes on Al-Ula, trying to get a few more eliminations. They know they're that close. Only 5 points away now from that smash zone.
Goodness me, I feel like the most important decision here is Nongshim's rotate. The question is when. What do you need to have in place before you go for it? And I feel like this is one of them. Clearing out the back, Team Flash, as soon as they roll out, they're going to get hounded down. So the ability to clear that out is brilliant. But then where do you go from there? Maybe you try and crash towards eArena, but we'll see what they can find in the fight with Flash as they roll up for a second rundown. So easy goes low, but he's still got a little bit more bite behind him. And he snaps back. Flash do go down, and no knock sent, but here come Enigma Galaxy. They're straight into the fight. A 1-2 go down. There they go. What on earth was that? Enigma Galaxy with the targeted, surgical, precision strike. Take down the tabletoppers. Nongshim denied.
Out of here. Enigma Galaxy heard that fight. They knew who was on top of the hill, and they say, you know what? We want a piece of that, baby. And they got the whole thing. Nongshim Red Force are out. S2G, eArena still alive. As Enigma Galaxy in just one fail swoop could have saved this tournament, and we could see another match.
My goodness me, but S2G S2G with that opportunity now on the southwest side of the circle. Have to get a little bit closer to it. They've still got the madman Falak to deal with, though, in the foothills of their position. And Lost is rolling up to it. There's a nade cooking, so have to be careful. Feel like they should know there's someone in the shack. They should know. As the nades are flying, GodLike are launching forwards. Kamikaze will certainly know about it now. GodLike want to challenge on this hillside, the southwest side, getting hotter and hotter. Oh, okay, it's the Lone Ranger.
Yeah.
On horseback, charging into battle.
Yeah, Falak on the move. 1 horsepower, man. He's on the move. Can he survive? He hops. Jumps out for a little bit longer and survives.
Hey, he's got that big iron on his hip. He's ready for the fight. GodLike try to take it down. You're gonna have to do better than that. 1 more under the belt for Falak, but he goes down to a long-range third party, and the circle goes south too. Over to S2G. For Turkey, they have the shot. They have the inside track. It is about conversion now.
And the whole lobby needs to understand who is the greatest threat in this lobby. It's S2G. They're alive. They have the high ground. They have the ammunition. They could end this tournament right here, right now. A lot of fights happening on the other side of things, though, and that's going to be chaotic on the side that S2G are starting to spread their wings. They're taking so much real estate in this circle, looking to get the chicken.
They could make it up to first place overall, and down go E-Arena, so now guaranteed the only team to make it across, to be in with a chance, with a smash victory on this game, on this final Erangel, is S2G. But Aurora could change that tune. They are 2 points away from the smash zone. 1 more team goes down, they are in, and on the north side, it makes it happen. Aurora will join the top 3 in the smash zone if we go to another match.
Oh, and you could see Zol. He knows it. He knows exactly where this S2G squad is. He spotted him. Did he spot Hansuji, though, in the grass? Waiting to make a play. Zol getting mighty close here. Oh, Hansuji does stand up. The fight waiting to happen. This could be the fight to decide this tournament. Well, whichever team owns this one, they're going to control this entire side of the map.
Ooh. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The only way for Aurora to keep this one going for a chance at their own victory, their own table-topping performance, is to take down S2G, who sit atop the mountain, presiding over the military finish. Nongshim Red Force swept aside with a targeted strike from Nigma Galaxy. E-Arena struggling, clawing their way towards the circle, finally fell apart at the seams and could not go the distance, but S2G have their chance.
They've got it. You can see Kamikaze spreading out, rocking a 3-1 split on the side of S2G. Team Vitality, another squad that could be dangerous. They're focusing on the wrong team, though. They're looking towards Aurora. All of their efforts need to be going towards S2G. If Vitality fight Aurora, that's a perfect opportunity for S2G to third-party this and take this tournament.
But I mean, where do Vitality go? Where do they go to try and make the most of this match, right? It is towards Aurora. You can't sweep west. Furia still have some snakes in the grass, and Kamikaze's reinforcing that position. I feel like Vitality might just be giving this one over to S2G.
You got to realize, Vitality, it's either go anywhere else or go home right now. If they battle this out, it's going to give S2G a massive advantage here in this game, as these are the 2 squads with a full team still alive in this tournament.
We need to put the aura in Aurora right now. They need to look big, play big, score big, get into the smash zone, because they are the only team really in the driving seat. The circle takes the backstop position out for S2G. Vitality are just gonna have to cross, but S2G might take shots at them as well. On this approach, up to the ridgeline, the fight is teetering. We are on a knife's edge.
Here we go. We can hear the crowd chanting S2G because they know they have the high ground. They do lose that building, though, so that backstop there by SoulK. He's going to have to jump on down and look at this position. This is all about fight timing. If Aurora and Vitality battle each other out, S2G should have this one in the bag. And top is looking in Vitality's direction.
Okay. Okay, We'll see if this suppressive force can go. I mean, Vitality's approach is not easy, even if S2G aren't peeking all the way down. There is still angles that they can take over towards Vitality. And they may actually opt to stay on the top of this ridge.
You could feel the tension in the air. You can cut it with a knife. This could be the end of the tournament. We're watching the last game if S2G take this one. Furia. Don't count them out either. They have 2 players up, but they could definitely disrupt this entire fight.
Down the line.
Here we go. One more zone shift. One more zone shift to decide who's going to have the advantage. And if S2G are going to be able to take it. Chief driving up. He gets knocked out. Now it's only Ayala left for Furia.
There was also a knockover towards a Vitality player coming through from Aurora, who are pushing up to the ridge, but leaving Top out to deal with Vitality's position. It's so suppressed. Oh, the links coming into play. And there's a knockover towards Top. S2G find the backline. That's not going to be resable. 3 players now for Aurora, with their chance to take it all away. But S2G, with only 2 elims, they don't need any more than that. All they need is the win. And with 3 teams beneath them. Oh, look how important Aurora think this res is. Top desperately calling for assistance. It's needed. And Kamikaze rolls out to try and suppress it, but no, lost back behind the tree.
Zeol with the critical shot to the off angle from Doc. Is able to knock a player from S2G. And here comes Aurora.
They're rolling in.
Move. They got the shot. It's all Doc, baby. Shutting them down.
Kamikaze now, the last player for S2G. It's still doable. It can still be done, but it would need a miracle. Reefus turns his attention towards the back line, so Vitality still sits living. 4 players alive, all rezzed up. They might be the ones to take it all.
It's Kamikaze versus the world. If he somehow takes this, it's game over. Ayala by himself. Reefus dominating this lobby, and Vitality's in trouble.
A Kamikaze in the center of the circle with the assistance from Ayala could suppress that position from Aurora. If they get Zeol back up, that does change the tune. And Kamikaze has the broadside. Reefus goes low but stays alive. And down go S2G. Aurora keep it going. We are going to Miramar.
We are going to the desert, and we only knew that in the last second. That one was way too close for comfort. And S2G, you can see the look on their faces, the devastation. It could have been over right then, right there.
They had that game in the palm of their hand, and through their fingers, the dust of their defeat pours down. And they are going to feel so bad about that one. Oh,
they had the high ground.
That high ground.
Oh.
Aurora with the charge through. It felt like the knocks were there. Everything was lining up. But they built that house on foundations of sand. And they have to go again. And this time, there's a 4th player in the ring.
Oh my goodness. It's games like that that are matches of nightmares. Those are the ones that stick with you, that you remember, that you wake up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night just thinking, oh, if I would have just looked in this direction, made this one little move, we could have won it right then and there. But this tournament's not over. We still have 2 more matches left to go. But like you mentioned, Aurora are looking to roar up to the top as they take this one at the last second.
I mean, what a finish coming through. Kamikaze nearly getting this elimination onto Reefus as well. You can see how low Reefus got. Yeah, those nades got cleaning him up as well. Aurora, fantastic play coming through from them. They drop military, they stay military, they win military. That is how you want to close down Erangel. And what a sigh of relief for Nongshim and for E-Arena, who have another crack at this at this Smash victory.
Yeah, and I mean, I got to give some a major love to so many of the teams that we saw. Fudia put some good points there towards the end. Nigma Galaxy, honestly. Nigma Galaxy pushing, taking out Nongshim right there.
Kinda crazy.
That was crazy. And I think all of these teams need to give Nigma Galaxy a little pat on the back, say, hey, thank you for that one, because that was dangerous.
Absolutely, dap them up. We are going to be heading out for a few, but make sure you don't go anywhere because there are crucial games left to play. Let's see what we got for you.
We were there. For every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind. And we're here. Now. The proud founding partner of EWC. Powering the biggest event in gaming. Shoulder to shoulder with the world.
They're champions, and we do have 2 games left. If it doesn't finish here in a smash with the smash format in this next match, which means that some other teams could still end up pushing out. We got a chance to see earlier that smash race graphic. You can see 4Thrives is still, even though 4Thrives hasn't really been performing that well, awful day after that rondo, they could still find themselves a way up towards that smash zone. But when it comes to Aurora, when it comes to that fight with S2G, I kind of want to rewind a little bit to that, because I was thinking maybe S2G took a little bit too long to try to get even more angles and spread out even more.
I'm not sure. I thought that S2G played it well enough. I thought that they had enough angles, that they were timing it very well. The problem was Lost getting knocked. For Aurora, that is like smelling blood in the water, and it just activates immediately. Like, once they get that knock, Aurora are all over it. Full push, full send, complete synergy. They like, right, we have a target, we know what we're doing now. So for me, I think it's less S2G and more Aurora.
Yeah, they were in great positions. I absolutely agree to you. And Aurora were moving to the rotation on Vitality. If they were just to wait another moment, it would have opened up an even better position for them. But obviously, you know, like Max says, they were sort of making that push. It wasn't the worst decision, it was the timing decision that put them out.
With that overall now, we see the Aurora jumping up to that second place in tying Nonsham Red Force at 140 points apiece. Nonsham Red Force does have 3 chicken dinners, Aurora with 2 here. And as we're looking at this overall ranking, even before this one, we got a chance to see the top teams for Miramar, Max.
Yes.
And we ended up seeing Nonsham there, and as well as E-Arena. This could be the turnaround for E-Arena.
I mean, especially, wait, Neptura, remind me, PMMI, Macau Invitational, which map was it the Nonsham Red Force won on and got the smash?
Was that game 6?
It was game 6, and it was what battleground it was?
I think it's a Miramar.
I think it was a Miramar. Exactly. Thank you very much for confirming my suspicions, Neptura, because it is Miramar. It's Nonsham Red Force o'clock. But I do want to say, 4Thrives, Nigma Galaxy, Furia, Tiamba, if we do get to that hypothetical scenario where none of the top 4 teams get chicken dinner, these guys, a top 3 is not going to cut it. You need a win if you want to do it. And you know what? That means from those teams on the second half of this first page, you need back-to-back chicken dinner to be the champions.
And we're starting to see the crowd pop off as well, especially towards the end when S2G, one of those players, ended up getting knocked. You can see all the fans from Horror, all the fans from 4Thrives just getting so excited, because that just means one more chance for those squads. 4Thrives, you are 17 points away. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it, Lace, but they're gonna have to try.
I'm a believer. There's still time, absolutely, for them and to be able to capitalize on that. And what we've seen, and obviously a lot of these zone pulls on Miramar, they could have that potential to be able to do it. Obviously, you know, we saw it from the, the hashtag EWC posts. They just need that chicken dinner, which will maximize those points for them, and obviously to close it out in the following game.
I'm just looking at a bunch of squads here as well that you have absolutely nothing to lose. Throw everything. Do anything you can for those eliminations. Do anything you can for those points. And for everybody currently watching at home, don't forget that the PMWC Lucky Spin is currently available in the game. Log in and do your spins before it's gone. You could get the Electron Energy set, the Proton Power set, and that grows out that I'm just so close to getting it that I feel like today, after we crown a champion, I'll be able to get it. The PMWC Lucky Spin available now. Go check it out. Co-created with PDP creator Nana. But you were wanting to say something before we were talking about those awesome skins.
Talking about the bottom teams, right? The teams that have nothing to lose. I want to look especially at the Indian teams, right? Orangutan, and also looking at GodLike. AKOP had some really good plays, by the way, earlier today on Rondo specifically. So good one on AKOP. But at this point, it's just about getting experience. Just try and get as high a rank as you possibly can. I would say top 10 would be great to see you try and one of those two teams to try and finish on. But I'm sure that with how much they've learned this event, next time we do see them 7, they're going to come back even stronger, maybe in PMGC.
I think so. I mean, we already seen a strong performance out of OG, this one being now their second international event. For GodLike, they have completely shattered my expectations, even though after what I saw from earlier on, I had them in my top 5 for the finals here. The pressure, I feel like, ended up getting to them because it is their first international event. But I'm with you. I think that experience that they're going to be getting here is going to progress not only just for them, but also for India as a region.
Oh, exactly. I mean, if you look at the likes of X-Force Rejects, for instance, down in Africa, right, the African region, their global experience has been moving forward and actually influencing other teams around them in their local area. So it's the exact same thing for our Indian teams here. I've been very, very impressed with GodLike, very impressed with OG. Even in the finals coming in here, day 3, looking really good, making some fantastic plays against the likes of Tiamba, like a lot of different teams here. I do think that, yes, the experience is one thing here, Seven. That's definitely not to be overlooked because they just don't have the experience these other teams do. But I will say, even I was surprised by the big jump between group survival and finals. Like, it's a completely different lobby than what they played earlier in the week. So for them, it's just really hard to adapt as well. And yeah, they're getting left behind, but still massive GGs. I'm very impressed.
Completely different playing style here in the finals. Group A, we got a chance to see just tacticalness. Group B, we've got a chance to see aggressiveness. And survival, we got a little bit of a sneak peek. It was still passive, but now we're here in the finals. And now we only have possibly one match left. If nobody wins it from the top 4, then we will have that 6th match. But Barney, do you think it's gonna be ending here in this first Miramar, or are we gonna go one more?
Oh my goodness.
What is happening?
Dude, my heart is coming out of every orifice that I have, Lucy. I don't know what is going on.
It's getting insane.
It's getting so spicy here on the Gadea City grid. Of course, we now have 4 teams that are on Smash Point. We've got Nongshim Red Force.
Yes, indeed.
E-Arena.
Since a long time.
I know. It feels that way, doesn't it?
Yeah,
S2G.
it was a long time ago now.
And of course,
just Aurora Gaming just cuts it now.
I know, they're all fighting, battling tooth and nail for this right here. Our beautiful PMWC trophy and the legacy,
of course,
at EWC.
And I think there is people from all over the world as well, like watching them. And I think our audience is ready as well. Everybody's like, one more game? No, don't want one game, depending of who you're rooting for, actually.
That's right. We step foot onto Miramar for a 2 times, potentially, but it could all end in the next match. And so, everyone in the Gadea City grid, are you ready?
Of course, make some noise! Here we are. Back to you, Caster, for the game 5.
There you go, setting the stage perfectly there. Shout out to Barney and Luke, you've been absolutely killing it over the course of the event. And so have you, Paris. You've been absolutely electric here in the Gadea City grid. And all of us are sat in anticipation for what is yet to come as we move over from Erangel and set our sights on the new geometry that is Miramar Blank.
And we said goodbye to Rondo, we've said goodbye to Erangel, and we are saying hello to our 2 final Miramars, which will cap off this tournament. PMWC at EWC. It has been an absolute slammer of an event. But right now, that last game, not so much. It was a bit of a slam dunk from Aurora. And S2G misses the boat on that one.
And Eamon, I think what hurts most is that could have been the full 3-pointer blank. They were set up for a nice swish in through the net.
Yeah, they were. They absolutely were, but bounced off the backboard, directly back into their own face. I mean, for Kamikaze, completely understand it. I think his center position movements have been sick throughout the tournament.
All right.
This one, not so great.
Okay.
I think sometimes you do have to peel back and realize we need the full 4v4. I think a lot of the time Kamikaze's gone for those center anchors. It's been fine because they've had the majority control anyway. And what he does by doing that is massively secure the win. Because he's able to play that position very effectively. That time around, when you've got Vitality up in that northern edge, you've got Aurora trying to push up the hillside, you need to fully reinforce that position. Otherwise, that happens. Either way, we were discussing it. It's a hard one because right now Aurora's on an absolute high. They are living in the clouds at the moment, but for S2G, that's a mentally booming game.
It's going to get you. It's going to get you, even with the strongest mental fortitude, a game like that, you have to completely reset and effectively try and just play this one in isolation. Treat it as a best of one game, forget everything else. Because, yeah, otherwise you kind of sat there with the thoughts of, that was our championship game. We were very nearly in a reality where we could have been crowned champions. Yeah. But there are other teams that are eligible for that to be the outcome. And of course, like we touched on, with 2 games left to go, there is still plenty of opportunity for any one of them to close it out. That smash rule could still come into effect. You could still close it here in game 5.
For Nongshim, we know they can do it already. They did it yesterday on Game 6. E-Arena hasn't looked terrible on Miramar either. S2G is known for their Miramars. So we'll wait and see how it does pan out. We're just waiting to get into game right now as everyone gets set up and ready to jump in. All on our screens. I don't think it's been the worst of tournaments for them. It's just, there has been some missteps, right? And I think that it wouldn't be right for me to say that they've played fine throughout the entirety of this tournament. They have made some missteps here and there. Sometimes, I think Neptune actually put it very well. They play very reactive into some of their late games where I think there are some good decisions as they leapfrog into the circles, but then when things start to go wrong, they really go wrong. And that means losing one player here, one player there, trading off for things that they weren't quite expecting. But we do know that once Ulf gets towards an endgame as a format, they look fine. They look really good, but it's getting there, which has been the difficulty for them. Aura Sleepy currently is doing an incredible amount of work for the squad today, looking fantastic. But we have seen them to lose that angle earlier on where it felt like a sure thing. Tiamba was just showing up in a big way.
They were indeed. It was great to see the rise back to form for Tiamba. The topsy-turvy road for Enigma Galaxy as well. A lot of squads, a lot of narrative things that we'll be picking into as this develops. So get in store for it. We're about to go live with this one. Miramar Game 5 here at PMWC, at EWC 26. Looking to crown another new champion, another new organization to fly the banner high, and our next 4 kings of PUBG Mobile here on the grand stage, live from Paris, France.
Penultimate match here. It's going to take an ultimate game for some of these guys to get it done. 4 teams vying for control right now. Other teams looking to break in that 122 points barrier to potentially take it all home on that final match. We're looking at Furia, Tiamba, 4 Thrives, Enigma Galaxy to make that jump. But there are 4 teams that could stop it right here, right now. Going into map number 5, Nongshim stopping out short over towards Ruins as per usual. Nice playing path for them. They can get looted very, very quickly and move into that circle when it pops. We've not seen a lot of Western circles, and Nongshim's been able to play a lot of these like Southeast, East circles fairly well, despite starting in Ruins, which is, I think, the most impressive thing about them. Tiamba out down towards Impala. And S2G will have to go for the full reset. And like you say, you kind of want the Men in Black mind wipe right now, don't you, really, from the coaches?
Yeah, the neuralizer, wipe that off. Glad to see this, though, mate. Yeah, a bit more normality instantly into this one in terms of the circle. We've had some pretty wacky circles at times, made it a bit uncomfortable for a few of the squads, a few of the games. It's going into our first of the 2 Miramars, potentially 2, that is. Glad this is a more consistent start to open us up.
Yeah, we're around El Azahar, Hacienda del Patron. Kind of don't want to center up too much around here because we're heading over towards those horrible dead fields. Always a bit uncomfortable to play. You got Death Valley down towards Ricardo way. La Bandita is going to create a little bit of a funnel for our teams playing Los Leones, Paraíso, as well as Impala. For S2G, straight shot towards the center available for them here. I think they're fine playing from truck stop. Nongshim Red Force, a little bit more of a journey, but can wrap on that north side. And again, jumping into this one, got to get a move on, just like Naruto Uzumaki. Just straight running across that water. But we want to bring some heat to the equation, some fire, with the Ninetales Fury Org skin as well as the Naruto Uzumaki set. Plenty to win in game, plenty to grab. Make sure you do join in. But join us now as we head back into the game.
Yeah, that'll always be there waiting for you whilst the event's ongoing. To take advantage of it, but like Blank said, we'll stick with the present for now and see what we get out of this. Obviously early doors into it initially. No over-aggression necessary from the teams, not worth the risk due to the damage it could do back upon you.
So it will be a fairly safe opening few minutes here of looting for a decent majority of our squads. Bit of a split there from OG early with a 3-1 setup, Aru further back. Ooh, and this has actually resulted in a bit of commotion as well. More high octane than potentially our first four. S-Power comes in with the opening elimination as GodLike do get line of sight down onto OG.
Yeah, good shots from S-Power. Again, he has really made a name for himself here. Very well known within his own region, but now on a global stage. Known to be able to tango with the best of them. Incredible clutches throughout the entirety of the tournament for S-Power. Really just hope to see more of him in the future, honestly. This has been a wonderful event for him. Alongside with the rest of the squad supporting him wonderfully. Ulf getting nice and central on this one too. Just underneath Hacienda. Still a lot of teams yet to move in just yet though. Aurora getting the full loot on. You can see them on our screens right now. Still looking for some supplies. Mini 14 switched out there for the M16. An odd setup, but let's see what he picks up. Tiamba, genuinely from Impala right now, would be nice to see them getting another strong match in. Already shown they can do it. And with how tight those rankings are towards the top, I mean, just look at 8th through 5th. You're looking at 103 to 105. That's a big jump up in prize pool as well. And it may all end here on this match, so you can really switch things up very, very quickly. I think for Tiamba, you know, getting a top 5 in this event would be a really, really good result for them. A bit hard to jump up over towards that top 4 with E-Arena on 123. I think that does bear mentioning, though, of E-Arena 123, because remember the first match on Rondo, they hit 122.
Yeah.
Over the next few matches, they have earned a single point. And this is what Smash Ruling does to you, man. Because you are so focused on getting that chicken dinner, so focused on hitting that smash that you forget that this might just go all the way through to the 6th match. And then Nongshim just takes it off the back of the tiebreaker between them and Aurora.
Now that is the double-edged sword to it. You're scared to play it out like a regular game due to the fear of having it slip through your fingertips and not getting that instantaneous win. But then, like you touch on, you leave yourself very susceptible to be lapped, and it's been a nice step up from the teams above them that are dangerously close to all being tied. 1 point of difference there, S2G on 139, everyone else on 140, and Nongshim and Aurora. The one saving caveat could be the fact we've seen a bit more aggression from our teams trying to first onto the big dogs in the lobby that are in the smash zone. So that's been saving these games and keeping them going for a bit longer. Cheeky peek there. Shots on target, but goes both ways. Bit of damage back over onto Ulf, and the 4 Thrives boys do start to turn tail.
Lovely pickup from Hazaifa there. He had his eyes over towards that concrete there, understood that that's a potential position a team could be playing in, instantly rebuffs the shots, and because of that, Falak stays up. Because in that position, I'm pretty sure he drops off the vehicle, he gets insta-flushed. So that does keep 4 Thrives as a 4-man, which they need, because they're right on 105 points. Get themselves 17 more on this match. They set themselves above that smash ruling. Challenge out for that top 3 as well if we do go all the way to 6 matches, which at internationals does tend to be the way things go down. Yeah, it's not a win though.
Scarface. Tight timing on the turnaround here. Being ran down by 4 Thrives. He's calling for the backup and they're starting to swell over. Ooh, so close.
How is he alive?
I don't know. He's tucked in, finally found by Falak. He will fall. This is just as the rest of Ulf have pulled up to the party as well. Now they've got a read on this, they know. Instantly peppering the bullets back, and there's no reason to be here anymore. Call it quits.
I mean, it's so central. It's not a bad place to play, but I think you're right. Ulf just realizes that going to cut their losses on this one. This stage of the game, trying to get yourself further up in the rankings, not worth it. Take the fight against a team which might be elongated with the nades, been thrown through the windows, playing off the upstairs, can get very dangerous in there. Up in those mollies as well. Zone 2, though, coming up, and Zone 2 will cut in very hard on Miramar. Plenty of fun areas. This could head over towards on some hard shifts, can head over towards the high ground. Now that's a highway over towards those fielded areas on the north side. Torre Armada, Cruz de Valle, water treatment also in place, so a lot of elevation as well as very, very shallow spots of the map. So quite a bit of fun here to work with going forward. Loot crate does drop down. This is very good for Nongshim Red Force as well, because as they've noticed with this circle going over towards the north side, they can cut in across Oasis, moving over towards Torre Armada. Enigma Galaxy will be the first team to grab this spot, though, coming in from El Pozo. But yeah, I think that Nongshim Red Force cuts out the majority of the queue on this.
For Nongshim, they've had a pretty firm grasp on these games, but there's been some awkward decisions again, mirroring the sentiments we've given out here about some of these sides struggling a little bit when the pressure starting to get to them, eating away at them with the decision making.
I mean, this does feel slow as well, Jackie, for Nongshim, because I think they stopped off almost in Oasis. Had to think about what their next move was going to be, and they're still just making it across. It is rocky ground, though, so they're slowly finding their way in. But again, the more time they waste on this rotate, the more teams are going to make those wide routes. Furia being one of them. They're actually going to meet them on the roadside probably quite soon. And Furia has not been traveling through the blue. Right now, the rest of Nongshim Red Force are trying to keep themselves at a reasonable HP count. Getting very close now. Might just tuck in.
You've got Ulf here as well that have been hit from pillar to post on their movement throughout this game. They ran into OG. Bit of damage done. I mean, two players already hard flushed out, one of them knocked. Up on the ridge side, it's Aru, the last remaining member, throwing the nades down. That's nearly all of the offensive utility used as well, just the Molotov. So broken bottles and his teammates gone as the fire spreads. Meanwhile, top side, what we touched on before, the Nongshim rundown with Furia still hightailing behind them.
They actually get ahead of them on this as well. But Nongshim Red Force, they're kind of an unsuspected rotation. I think if Furia was keeping an eye on those drop spots, they should know that Nongshim drops towards ruins and likely has made a very northern rotate, but they're going to take a very, very quick move in. You can see here, Igors playing bumper cars alongside with them are so easy, moves forward. The rest of the team hasn't quite regrouped yet, but they've got the two-man on this. Igor stops short over towards the concrete, forcing Nongshim Red Force to actually move away. He is quick with the positioning. Not very fun, and all this while the circle has been pulling in here, so Nongshim Red Force might need to make some quick decisions later on. Cruz de Valle actually quite free at the moment, but do you want to go there too early? You might want to now.
The Galaxy on screen now with a wraparound from Alula. Creating some space between them. Ooh, quick getting back in, looking to see if he can spot them out here. Smoke's casting at least enough of a shadow for him to stay tucked for now. Looking to buggy him out of this one. It's Ralph that's isolated. Ooh, there you go. Quick switch on the seats, easy headshot confirmed. And a hard flush, making it far more uncomfortable for Enigma. Three-man squad moves on.
Yeah, unfortunate. They get down towards the south side of Cruz de Valle on that one. Ralph sadly behind. Nongshim continuing on their path forwards. Furia's really hampered them in every single turn on this. Consistently, Igor's dragging the rest of his team to better position, even now moving over towards the north side to get a better beat on where Nongshim Red Force is rotating in. This is really good presence of mind here from Furia, being very proactive of where teams are, gathering that information, and where So Easy's coming in might be combated by Igor's in the future. Oh, he is being so annoying. Alula will find Erin there, and I believe that is Ulf now out.
Wasn't an easy one for Ulf at all here. So many back-to-back fights. She started off losing him out to 4 thrives, then consistently just got punished by everyone. Now, Vitality are just sandwiching behind Furia as well on this push-up from Nongshim. You can see the establishing shot here. Overview of where they are on the spread. Let's see why. Got a scope attached. He's got a read on it. Vitality right behind them.
I got the 14 as well. Gonna be deadly at distance. Ayala spots Vitality, having a peek over. Just trying to figure out what's going on here. Tizzy stayed behind for Nongshim Red Force, ensuring that there wasn't going to be any cheeky rotates over the north side. He's going to get a Rune Awakening pretty soon, because Aura is making their way in, so we'll be able to pass that information across. And honestly, for Nongshim Red Force, they might want to swing further down on this and give up position to Furia. Maybe play over towards the ridge side of the road. Does expose some sightlines from Flash, but it is getting really cramped up over towards this northeast side for Nongshim. Furia consistently stealing away those positions. Now Tizzy gets that information now and will move.
Knows you're being chased. Sky jumps out instantly, looking to see if he can get boots on the ground and deal some damage. Rest of the squad still continue to maintain a safe distance behind Tizzy on the follow-up. XZY has turned his attention back around towards that angle to provide support. Oh, bumpy pathway in the buggy, but Tizzy's still going.
That's nice.
Gets over the ridge.
Very smooth. Yeah, good shots from XZY as well to back them off. I mean, takes a little bit of damage, but provided enough support there. Circle heads over towards the west. Alula actually have quite a decent compound here on this one. Nick McGannis can play out from the south side of Cruz de Valle. Jiggle, quite an aggressive scout, I would say, over towards Vitality as well as Furia. Doesn't die for it. Milu, shot by Vitality. We're getting those shots in. Very quiet game so far, other than Ulf as well as OG going down. Even Tops now from Flash moves over towards the mound on the eastern side to check if teams are trying to rotate past them on that south side. So this is like it's very different to a lot of the other games we've seen. Nobody's taking any chances. Everyone's trying to garner as much information as possible on these rotates.
Yeah, it's far more tempered with the plays that are being made. You can see how much quicker teams are to set themselves up when they realize there's a VIP team, one of those squads that are within the smash zone, to attempt to set up to make it uncomfortable for their entryway. Similar setup here down towards the bottom side. You've got a close grouping of 3 of the other smash eligible squads in Aurora, S2G and E Arena.
Aurora late to this one. They stayed in Chumacera for a long, long time, and sort of fair enough to them because this went very northeast on the circle. There has been areas they've found to play in. E-Arena taking this 2-2 split right now. Have to evacuate this compound. Tony K will take shots over towards Doc, who makes it out of there. Gets over towards a little bit of high ground, a little bit of elevation to work with. Actually a playable spot. I mean, he's threaded the needle on that one. The rest of the team can move in.
It pays dividends, but it felt a bit risky initially when I saw the peak over the top of the roof. I was thinking if Doc goes down here, it could have been hellish. The rest of the squad now confident to join him on the push-up. Wow. Hamza G making the plays that we know he can deliver on. That's S2G, getting the long-range shot off with a nice knock. Getting a tasty adjustment over. And E-Arena, if they can follow up onto the 3-man squad, there could be a bit of a punishment play coming over. You got Joker off into the distance. S2G still getting a read on this. These 3 squads were so close to each other that nothing could get past them.
Aurora, yeah, losing one player here, not ideal. Makes a chance at a chicken dinner here in match 5, slightly more difficult. With Alula still controlling center zone. Tiamba, again, went up to down towards 6th as 4 thrives. Able to grab another point here. Nongshim need to move though. So Easy's actually outside in the blue at the moment. Taking a fair bit of damage off the back of this one. And they're really racking their brains of where do they want to go, how do they want to play. I mean, he's still out there. Come on, man. Get in. Don't know what he's trying to say. I think he's waiting for Tops to get off the angle or something. I'm not sure. Finally will regroup with the team, but burning through meds to do it.
That's been a caveat we've seen happen a couple times for this team. Always feeling like they're kind of somewhat trapped in the dirt and then having to burn a lot of utility, offensive or medical-wise. See what the zone shifts from this, though.
I mean, Alula's living life, right? I mean, it's clear to see that Furia knows that they need to create some space for themselves. They can't really move down towards that southwest side. They'll be on broadside to Vitality as they move in. So this is the likely position next. So a very important fight between Nongshim as well as Furia. Hyunbin takes a lot of damage. Tizzy up front right now, gathering that information, passing it back for the nades to be sent through. Maybe just dipping back down again, realizing that maybe this is not the best of fights for us. It's a long nade, doesn't quite hit on. So Easy will move away. Vitality giving Nongshim a little bit of life force here.
Finally, a pathway's presented, but they've got to fight past teams to get into the safety zone.
Oh, you can play highs on this one, yeah, for sure. It's free, it's open.
All right, just beneath them, that's where Tiamba is stationed, so it's going to work out. They get tucked back in. Finally bypass the awkward setup of the Furia squadron that were advancing towards them. They're chasing somewhat. Flash keeping a bit of the attention off them. The triple threat of Aurora just off in the distance as well. A little bit of a ridge there. Yeah, tuck in, buddy.
Yeah, because Fury could at any moment silhouette themselves on that ridge side. Scary stuff, though. But yeah, Nongshim Red Force can play this for the time being. I'm not sure how likely Tiamba's going to allow this to go on without contest. Maybe a couple of nades sent upwards. But yeah, highs and lows here. This is very playable. Usually, Tiamba, when you get a central zone like this, it's kind of the guard dogs for where Nongshim Red Force is playing, but with Tiamba being further into the circle here, much better result for them. Yeah, Fury is locked out, so that was a nice swing through from Nongshim Red Force. Some slow decisions today here and there of how they want to play stuff out, but that was a quick maneuver from them. Aurora, Reefus, last left alive here, getting the first aid kit off, and yeah, chicken dinner's not happening. Definitely locked, not likely, as Aurora gains no points on this game.
Oh, there you go. That's the final nade coming through. Tops blowing away. Back up as Luis as they get that one on target. So Reefus removed and Aurora. The lights go out. Fury are advancing though. Looks like they've started to run out of the nades they had available with how many staggered fights they've had. Dashing the last few down.
It's actually cool because the way Nongshim Red Force layered on that top side as well, it forced a lot of nades out of Fury, but they're just going to send it. It's going for a dry push right now. Nades are being pulled in the meantime. Oh. Beautiful from Hyunbin.
Really clean engagement.
It's just done.
Yeah. Primes it perfectly, blows them away on entry. Fury are chasing them for so long, but no, not today.
Vitality on that north side. I think they heard the commotion, wanted to get involved on it, but the speed at which Furia went down, I mean, there's just no opportunity. Nate goes in, does a lot of damage towards Tizzy. Gonna sit in the corner, though, as Federales has to move now. Back over towards Aura. This next fight between Nongshim and Tiamba will be the decider of how far Nongshim gets into this game. Can't imagine that Tiamba's gonna crumble. Alula's compound becomes very high priority for absolutely everyone. You may see a crash on this.
Risky maneuvers going to become more and more impactful. Here's the replay back over from the Furia crash down onto Nongshim. Look at that was gorgeous from Hyunbin. Perfect utility play over in a split second.
Yeah, it was good stuff. I mean, the thing is, Vexy on that back line with the Mini 14 did good stuff. Nades go in, so yeah, this is the fight I was talking about. They're all in one corner right now. Utility still looks good for Nongshim. Molotov towards the back lines. Does a good amount of damage towards Milu. He's burning out. Might actually go down to this. Great molly from So Easy.
But Hyunbin's already set up for this. This is the go signal, but he can't actually win out on the initial fight. Aiken replies back, so it's a 1-for-1 trade on the NCY and Tizzy up for Nongshim. 3 players alive for Tiamba. Oh, the backstab though! Come Gets on! Around the corner, the back nade misses as Tizzy sends them cratering down! And that's a nice spray, XCY wielding the snipe up close, the quick switch is good!
But Vitality's here to play! Upstairs the molly goes in, might just take them all down, and Nongshim is out! Vitality with a nasty third party! What a game from Nongshim though, very difficult one. They made a lot of cool decisions there. Took it as far as they could, but Vitality was always in the wings.
Eyes like a hawk on Vitality as they make that quick adjustment. Oh, S2G as well.
bringing the heat straight over to 4-5, so there is no chance to catch your breath now. It's all kicking off. Flash again responding. T24 falls. Vexy upset by Darkin from Ida.
S2G going to make that rollout now over towards Flash. 4 thrives. Looking to finish off what they started here. Zias is down. Tops is just dropping. Desperate smokes. Keep himself alive. Hamzy G will roll on through. Vitality lose Federalis on the background. Ida pushes forward. Alula holding on to this very, very important compound towards the center. Rita does go down to a nice nade coming through from Axel. Can't believe Federalis is still crawling in. He's got to go down soon. Yeah, there you go. Darkin picks him up.
Shots back over from Razak as Vitality gets the shot on to try finish things there. You can see the split on either side with eArena still sitting, waiting. Absolute contrast there. S2G, they've been so proactive. 6 elims constantly in play, constantly in flux. eArena just waiting, Blank.
That has been the name of the game for them. They're able to get one more point than previously. The Arena's looking for that finish, looking for that chicken dinner, playing in from that south side. They have the roadside ridge line to play around with. Solke will find another. Razak goes down, potentially. Oh, just about lives the spray. Good backup there coming through from his teammate. The FE Arena, they're going for the slow game. Oh my goodness me. I mean, how gifted can you get on this one for Alula?
Every time it shifts, they're counting their blessings more and more. No one's taken that risk to try force them out of the position just yet. S2G from long range, that's Vitality. Getting the sight line onto them.
So sad for Ida as well, because they've just dragged themselves out of 16th place. And they're about to be put back down there again.
Ooh, yeah. And that might come quicker than expected. Darkin trapped behind a vehicle. Lost able to grab that one. Another elim garnered. And this puts them on equal footing as well. 147 to 147. They're climbing up.
Emre takes the knock there. Should be Ida just down now. As Alula gets set up towards that central side to hold off all these teams. eArena will clean up the rest over towards the northwest. Swain still up and kicking for Ida though. Desperately trying to stay in 15th. Very unlikely. See how far you can go though on this one. S2G eyeing up that compound. Looking to redeem themselves after that last game. There's certainly a chance here. Up to 8 eliminations on the match.
Lost with a reposition. P90 in the hands. It's Mormon that sprays back over to get the final knock onto Ida. They're out now. The squad's being thinned as Hora also take a deathly blow back over. eArena finally getting some shots on the nade.
Good dash.
Oh, mate. S2G. They thought they had that one right on target, but it barely misses.
Dude, 2 out of the 3 teams at the end here could smash right here, right now. For Alula, they have a fantastic position to finish this one out. But the likelihood of this ending in this game, Jackie, very, very high.
They fought so hard, man. The zone moving in again. Alula just waiting, confident. S2G on the back line still.
Yeah.
I mean, the vehicle's still in play, Blank.
I mean, they've just popped all the tires on that buggy, understanding that it's better to have it with no tires than one and dragging as they move it in. It's going to be slow, sure, but maybe better than nothing down the hillside. Vitality desperately hanging on by a thread at this end game. We're getting down towards stage 9. It's going to pull all these players inwards more. eArena desperately living on the sidelines. Goodness me, both teams with a white knuckle grip on this game, holding on for that win, for that victory here at PMWC. Okay. 1 vehicle. 2 vehicles in play right now for them that look decent. Smokes are starting to be sent out from either side, both S2G as well as E-Arena will be breaking down the gates of Alula soon. Hamzy G attempts to get into the vehicle. Solke is going to swing wide on this one.
The quick repairs have paid off. Nade still being thrown over, slight shift down. E-Arena running through their line of smokes with their own cars on the move. They've got a good sightline blocked off with the smokes they put down, but this has drawn their crosshairs off S2G, but the same will not be said for that squad. Their eyes light up. Bullet shot out downrange, keep the punishment on. Meanwhile, in the midst of all this, Yasha peeks back over. Good work done. One player hard flushed out for E-Arena.
Neither team wants to make the play. Kamikaze is trying to get in. Hamzy G up front, doesn't go very low.
Oh.
He goes, what happened?
He's bounced off the geometry and gone flying up in the sky, but their dreams might be dashed back down to reality as Hamzy G hits the deck. Punishment play onto Alula.
E-Arena with just Joker left alive. Hamzy G trying to keep this game in contention. Lost hits the deck, Nade out, air bounce there. Doesn't get the damage through. The last to make it happen. Gravity, the real villain. What a game. What a finish. For Alula, the arbiters right there at the end. Between tournament-ending teams still being in play. Magnetized onto that compound. Orbited by two victors. What a disappointing finish for both S2G and the Arena. Not in the sense of disappointing in the gameplay, but just disappointing for them. The circle just was not having it, Jackie.
No, given no blessings. Had to fight for absolutely everything. And even when they took the risk, something went wrong. Sent up flying into the stratosphere, buds, and it's gonna get you a gut-wrenching feeling.
Oh, dear me. Dear me. Great tracking though from Alula. Give him that.
Weird angle, but ready for it instantly. One more game then.
One more game. Finish on the last. Will we get a smash on that last game? There's a lot of teams in contention for it. It still could be that fourth place squad that wins it all, that takes it all. Nongshim Red Force counting their lucky stars that they were able to still do good in that game because S2G is catching them up off the back of that one. E-Arena was also able to put up good points, getting up towards third place. But at least S2G's put themselves in a position now where they could still win off points alone if they have another good match here.
Playing a blinder right up until the end. But my God, unexpected twist on that one. Didn't know Arrow was going to go that way, mate. It definitely caught me off guard, and I imagine it was the same for them amongst it all. Alula, though, doing what they had to do. Denying out both teams from ending the tournament early. Starving off victory for at least another game.
They didn't want to end in 16th place. That's what happened there. But we'll be back real soon for the final match here at PMWC.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by Play.
نوك واحد عندنا نوك ترى مش تبع خمسة هذا هو كله بن ابي طلقه اخذ معي طلقه البيت عندكم بيت اصفر يا مالك
When you least expected, Al-Ula Esports takes us to the final match, which is going to be upcoming here at PMWC at EWC 26. Welcome back, everybody. My name is dekh, joined by Lace, Maxman, and Neptura. And Max, I'm going to go straight to you because another heartbreak here for S2G at the end.
Oh man, I feel bad for them, man. Like the last one was like, hey, great, we got another game. And I'm like, oh, that must feel kind of bad if you're S2G or an S2G fan. But you know what? Al-Ula, they started off the day in 16th position and they are literally alone as their main team, right? Able to keep the tournament going, getting rid of E-Arena, getting rid of S2G and keeping it going with those 22 points. Also, extra prize pool. Al-Ula gonna be loving it.
They are going to be loving it. We see E-Arena there in third in regards to the points. Being able to secure 10 points, they're still, if for some reason, nobody else wins via the smash rule after this match, Lace, it will come down to the points. So these points that these squads are getting with S2G 15, E-Arena 10, and then Nongshim Red Force as well with 7, they could come into play.
I mean, yeah, a lot of teams, you've got to realize that this is the right time to maximize all your eliminations to move you up on that leaderboard because that's some cash money, baby. But I mean, look, from this position, even from E-Arena, they were kind of going to lose this regardless. S2G had that position to sort of push them around that west side, and Al-Ula obviously had the compound the entire time. So it was going to be denied. Denied. Regardless of, you know, sort of their movement in from that. But look, S2G and this situation flung into the air, obviously, off of that, and then not being able to get that nade of the, you know, positioning in that middle, the teammate, sorry, on Al-Ula. I'm getting it together. I'm just upset. Clearly, I'm upset, guys. I'm upset. But I'm not upset because we go one more game, and I'm very excited for this to happen. But look, we're going to have another one in this situation, and it's going to go to the mountain, guys. I'm calling it. It's going to get crazy.
Which mountain? There's many.
Pora Mountain.
Yeah, I like that. Actually, that's where Nongshim Red Force won in PMMI, so actually.
Exactly. And guess who won the last match yesterday in Miramar?
I forgot, actually. Can
No, you just said it, Nongshim Red Force.
Okay, I was like, wait, what do we do?
Come on, it was an easy layup right there for you, Max. But yeah, Nongshim Red Force, they've been able to showcase that they can actually win, not only at PMMI, but here as well in the finals when we end up going to Miramar, when we end up going to the final match. Aurora found themselves very, in just an unfortunate situation, especially with the circle, with the rotation that this team had to make.
I have strong words for Aurora, which I will not be saying here. But just one play I'd like. Don't worry, I won't say it. I won't say it. Maybe later. Maybe later. No, I'm so confused because yes, it was a really difficult entry into zone. They couldn't really get a very easy way in. They were trying to thread through a couple of different teams there. But for me, they made that initial push in between EA and S2G right on the road. They actually moved in. Doc found a position, but then the entire team all came in and just went, we're just going to spread around. We're going to drive. We're going to have a little Sunday drive. It's nice. It's good weather. It's the desert. It's fun. And it's like, just stay on the position. You found a position. Stay there. Play from there. You could have won the game. They had a really decent position. EA, from the similar side of zone, got a third place. So, you know, again, it all comes down to what I was saying earlier about Nongshim in that one Erangel game where Al-Ula went and won from the position I thought Nongshim should have taken. If Aurora had taken EA's position, we could have had a win from them as well.
We could have, but one team that was able to do a great defense was Nongshim Red Force against Furia, Max.
Oh, I'm loving it. Like, sure, they don't win it, but that was such a clean, instantaneous fight. Like, I saw John for a second. He blinked and he missed the fight. Here we go. They go for the crash. Hyunbin cooking up that nade. Look at the nade. In 1, 2, 3, boom, gone. He's done. Chief couldn't do anything. And instantly, the synergy, the timing, they just go on a full-on aggression. They push. They counter-push onto Furia. And because of that, they don't lose a single player and barely take any damage. That is the Nongshim Red Force I want to see more consistently throughout these games. It goes to show that they have what it takes to be a champion, but sometimes it's a bit topsy-turvy. But Nongshim Red Force looking so good in that particular fight.
And it's this kind of thing, right, that I was talking about with Nongshim, is like the presence of mind they have. do you know how not panicked, how calm, cool, and collected you have to be to do that? And Nongshim coming into second place here. I mean, it's so close behind S2G.
For S2G right now in first place, a 7-point lead. Aurora Gaming in third place, E-Arena. Nobody else was able to join the Smash Zone here as we're going to be heading into the final match of PMWC at EWC 26. Nigma Galaxy 106 points. There's still a lot of money at stake here, Lace, between all these squads, even if they cannot win it via Smash Roll.
Yeah, and even if you have a look at Tiamba and the way that they were able to move up this leaderboard from just a few games, you know, this is where the money happens, and it's incredibly exciting, obviously, moving into this. You know, obviously, we have a look at S2G, 154 points. If none of these sort of get into that position, they'll capitalize it. They have been getting those positions in late game to get those extra placement points, so it is looking good for them. But yeah, I've got to hand it to Max. I'm feeling like a Nongshim. I feel like that this is going to be the closeout. S2G have had 2 opportunities, and I said you only get 1, so the third one may not happen.
This is looking like one of the best finishes we have had at a global event for PUBG Mobile Esports. S2G Esports, we know they're going to be showing up, especially right now with the 7-point lead that they have. Nongshim Red Force showing that they can win via Smash Roll. They could be challenging as well, not just via the points. They could be challenging for the win. Aurora Gaming, we know what that team is capable of, Max. In E-Arena, all they need is just 1 match, even if they have been kind of non-existent today.
Yeah, today's definitely been a bit of a slow one for the side of E-Arena, but look at the top of the rankings. 3 wins, 3 wins, 2 wins, and 2 wins for at the end Aurora Gaming and E-Arena. We've been threading the needle. We've been barely missing out on this smash ruling happening for these teams, but now I feel like it's finally time to get the smash ruling on Miramar. These teams, sure, maybe a few fumbles here and there, but they're going to throw everything at the wall and hope it sticks and finally become your PMWC 26 at EWC 26 Grand Champions. They're on the second page, and if Chura, still more money is there to be gained.
And it's all still so close, right? So we're so used to seeing big gaps between these teams, but look at this. Ulf 98, Hora 98, Team Vitality 83, Alula 80 with that win
big
coming
jump
in there. Massive jump for them, up into 13th place. And, you know, when we are talking about that prize pool coming down to the final game here in Paris, we're looking at some really decent jumps up in that rank, jumps up in that prize pool. All these teams are going to be fighting.
Yeah, I want to take a look at the top 5 players so far, though, because that MVP, it's not going to be coming from the winning team. It can come from a different team as well. But right now, it's none other. Usually, we're used to talking about human. Max, you might have a new player to fanboy over because Tizzy is popping off.
To be honest, out of all the players on this team, I'm really happy Tizzy has been, in particular this last game, got so much done in Miramar. Loving how he's been able to perform. Of course, Hyunbin, big fan of him. But Sleepy, the fact he's up here is quite surprising, but also not so surprising because his damage is very high because he is right, Nipchura, usually a long-range player. Mini 14, DMRs, he's going to be using it, so that's going to be buffing up your damage quite a bit. But I got to say, quite surprising that Scarface is up there, knowing Ulf is quite low on the rankings.
I mean, I think it comes down to who's the clutch player in a team, right? Even if the team isn't doing too well, he can still be the one getting the knocks, getting the damage, getting that survival time as well. Scarface has often been a solo for that team. We've seen it from several teams, actually, where that last solo lasts until 3rd, 2nd place, gets that damage, gets those long-range shots, just trying to pressure teams. And so, in that way, yeah, it's probably pretty on par that, you know, they're on that MVP list.
Yeah, and I'm just going to be looking at those top 4 teams because those teams, I mean, any of those top 4 teams could end up winning it, whether it's S2G, whether it's Nongshim Red Force, whether it's Aurora Gaming, even E-Arena. You know what? I'll scratch away that you have had a bad day, E-Arena, because right now, this is your moment to shine if you want to be able to lift that trophy, if Ravenclaw wants to win here again. But let's take a look at this head-to-head between Nongshim Red Force and S2G, and this is for today. And you can see which team has been performing better overall, and it's none other than S2G.
Yeah, you might be saying the survival time is actually relatively close for the 2 teams, but the fact that with a similar survival time, the average placement point of S2G is an extra 2 ranks higher compared to Nongshim Red Force is highly impressive. They've been very consistent, of course. 3 chicken dinners throughout the entirety of the finals, also looking good back in the group stage. I feel like S2G, if they just don't have those shaky finishes, I feel like they might be one of the most likely teams to end it with a smash.
Yeah, I was looking, you know, we're looking at the pre-show, right? Looking at the head-to-head between Aurora and S2G, and I did say S2G, yes, they have those wins, but they're hot and they're cold, and today we've seen a different version of this team, a different side to them, one that's far more consistent, one that's always there, under pressure, in the top 5. It's really nice to see, Max.
In particular, you saw in the top 4, you had Aurora Gaming. Top, you know, this has been his dream for years and years and years, and he's finally on the brink once again. Is the curse of the second place going to come back to haunt him, or can he finally wrap it up and get that win?
It's going to come down to what kind of circle they're going to be getting. Are you going to be getting blessed, or are you going to have to just fight your way through all the way to that win so you can lift that trophy? S2G, Nongshim Red Force, Aurora Gaming, and E-Arena. Any of those 4 teams can win it as we're heading to the final match, the final Miramar of PMWC at EWC 26. Hot Jukes, John Allen, take it away.
The sword of Damocles swings both ways, and 4 teams now stand atop the pack. Their chance to make history here in Paris and crown themselves the champions with one more chance to do so. Will it be a heavy hammer that smashes the tournament, or will we find a points victory?
And we're about to find out in Miramar. You can take a look. E-Arena, so far on the day, haven't put up hardly any points except for that rondo, but it was enough to put them in that smash zone. All it takes is one game, one chicken dinner to become our champions. It's about to find out who's got that ice water in their veins, who's got that clutch factor, because that's what it's going to take in order to take this one home.
Hey, Nongshim Red Force have won via smash rule before. Maybe they can do it again in the 11th hour, right down to the wire, but they have some stiff competition at the top of the tables. The points matter as well. Every single point you earn, so important, and those chicken dinner tiebreakers as well. At the moment, I mean, if one of the top 4 teams wins, they win by smash rule, but there are 2 teams with 3 chicken dinners, 2 teams with 2. Those tiebreakers are going to be so important. Those placements that you've been earning over the last 17 matches will come in clutch, and every single molecule of brain power needs to be focused on one singular goal. Finding every single point you can.
Or getting that win. It's either one or the other. And there are still so many squads that can win this. 4 in particular, all in the smash zone. That's going to be the ones that we are going to be keeping an eye on locked. Because I guarantee you, one of them's going to be taking home $500,000. Second place, $250,000. Look around this arena. This is what everybody came for. Not second place, not a good tournament, a world title. 1 game left, and somebody is about to play the most important match of their life. This is it, folks. The PUBG Mobile World Cup at Esports World Cup 2026 live in Paris. We're about to drop into our final match.
Miramar will be the final arena that our gladiators will take to for your entertainment. So Paris, make some noise. The final match is here. Let's get it underway. The plane path sends us over and into the final stretch.
Let's get into it. You can take a look at the overall rankings right now. S2G, Nongshim Red Force on top. If this goes to points, they are by far your favorites right now. E-Arena, such a threat though. All it takes is the win, and honestly, it's what they need. They have to win this if they want to be crowned your champions.
21 points behind S2G right now. Yeah, they definitely need to get a chicken dinner on side to win this tournament and give that 3-time title over to Schweppes. Allow Ravenclaw to be that winning coach, transitioning from that player role. It would be a beautiful story, but E-Arena have given us cause for pause when we think about their potential to take home those chicken dinners. They have had the highest scoring chicken dinner of any team pretty much ever at this level of PUBG Mobile, but it has not been seen for a while. Maybe the pressure will be able to turn things around for them. At the moment, I'm seeing Aurora pretty close to Flash, though, on the hot drop, potentially in the south.
Well, speaking of the south, that's where we're headed. The zone going all the way down south. Teams are going to have to get looted up and get moving. It's Reefus with the Winchester. No way he starts this off like this. Oh, mighty close. Team Flash getting away with that. Uh-oh. Nice return fire there from Win. Just say, hey, calm down with that Winchester, buddy. All right? You better wait till end game to get that going.
All right. I do love the Winchester. There's more damage coming on, and this is, again, Aurora harrying the retreat here for Team Flash. Team Flash, who have managed to find some late in the day points to send them up the tables. Trying to compete with that middle pack. They are right in and amongst it in the thick of that 5th through 10th through 11th, actually, melee in the middle to try and jump up on the prize pool. Tens of thousands of dollars on the line if you can do it.
Absolutely. It's the prize pool jumps significantly every single placement. And I'll tell you one thing you guys got to do for the final time. Get in the game, get into that lucky spin, and drop one of those exclusive 2026 PMWC tournament sets.
Oh, yeah.
Get them before they're gone. And looking at these leaderboards, top 4, looking pretty much as a lock at this point, right? I mean, we're going to see these top 4 in that range, right?
Yeah.
The difference is just where are they going to end up. Just a reminder, folks, this is a $3 million prize pool in this tournament total. $1.7 million about to be given away in just a few minutes. First place, $500,000. Second place, $250,000. Third, $150,000. And fourth, $120,000. So all 4 of these teams are going away with a whole bunch of cash. But there's a whole lot more at the tippy top.
The chicken dinner to these 4 teams is worth $375,000. That's right. That is the right price to put in your best effort to make it work. And nobody wants to step a foot out of line. It needs to come through, and they need it now. GodLike, they're taking a turn around Impala, but Tianba a little bit ahead of the curve. And down they go, finding that first elim. First blood has been drawn.
And that is Manya out of this tournament. Great, good signs of life from GodLike. I mean, they had some really big games. It's just the consistency that seemed to plague them here. For their first time at a World Cup, it's so difficult to face a challenge like this. I think they definitely gave it their all. I think time will definitely show them, and they'll get that seasoning going, and we'll see them rank up the leaderboards in the future for sure.
I've also loved watching 4 Thrives over the course of this tournament.
Yes.
Topping their group stage, able to do a lot of work and really impressing here. Currently in 6th place, a chance to jump up to 5th place in that, as I said before, that 5th to 11th place melee. They are very much in flux, but what I think the most important story for me when it comes to 4 Thrives is that it was not a flash-in-the-pan performance back in PMGO. They have managed to improve and consistently keep that improvement under their belt. There have been times where they've got a little crazy with it. I have to say, back in those group stages, some crazy flex-outs. One springs to mind over on that military finish that they were on the south side of the runway and just going for it. But absolutely impressive stuff for this 4 Thrives roster. They should be so proud to be able to put this sort of a record down on this tournament. And I'm sure we'll be seeing them again.
That's for sure. I want to see almost all these teams staying together. I mean, this was one heck of a tournament. I think every single squad here, for the most part, has what it takes. It's just a matter of time here. It's really tough, though, when you deal and face some of the best teams in the world that have been doing it for so long. And we're starting to see Ulf get into it with OG. Battle ringing out. Here we go.
Let's see if Scarface can put that MVP title on the cards as well, because two of his teammates are down. He's going to need to come up big. Him and Aaron playing off of one another. Two titanic forces on the inside of the compound against 3 players from Orangutan total. I don't know if they're all here and in the fight, though, but Ketch will get flushed away. And they are now, all 3, looking to take this fight. Aaron on the outside, but Scarface can't.
OG gonna get 4 eliminations, and that is it for all for this tournament. Give them a round of applause here, folks.
All things considered, I think people may have expected more from this roster coming into this tournament. 10th place, likely slipping down further than that as well. Not what they were aiming for, but they did manage to get to those finals. They did manage to qualify alongside their countrymen. And again, there is so much potential there. So much star power, so much still left to give. But they can't give it here. It's done for them.
That is it. Gives teams like Aura, Vitality, opportunity to push themselves further up in the leaderboards and grab some more cash here, as this is one insane prize pool in this tournament. Let's take a look, though, at Nongshim Red Force, the biggest threat in the lobby, if not for S2G. They have been dominant all day long, and they could definitely take this one. Just a quick flashback for everybody that missed it. PUBG Mobile Macau Invitational, not too long ago, global event. Nongshim Red Force smashed in the last match. They have been here before. They felt this pressure, and they succumbed it over, made it, and that is what you gotta do. So out of all the teams in this lobby, Nongshim Red Force, they know what it feels like to be here.
They have borne this burden before. Will they be able to raise that knee off the ground and shrug like Atlas, the weight of the world? On the western side, they are behind Aurora, one of their direct competitors, and we're going out all the way east. It's a long road, but I tell you who's already at the end of it, S2G. In the shadow of the Labendita crater right now on the southeast side, Dukes, they may have another opportunity here. They have had so many in these last few games to find those smashes. Is this the one? But they have to fight against GodLike for the compound.
Here they go, folks. S2G battling it out with GodLike. Kamikaze getting caught by the nade. A devastating blow. And the finish. It's S-Power looking to crush the dreams of S2G.
Another S-Power ruining the dreams for S2G, and Turkey may have it all dashed here, has lost the last to stand. God Power putting an end to the run, but he's still got one more player, a little bit of fire left in the heart, but it is not enough. S2G are done!
A massive blow to the lobby. So close to winning this tournament in the past 2 matches, and they go out as the second team in the last game. All eyes are on those leaderboards to see if they can hang on. Meanwhile, 4 Thrives looking to tear this up as they are putting in the work onto GodLike.
A little bit of burn, a little bit too hot underfoot, but it's just S-Power now. We've seen what he can do with these nades. Can he do it again?
Looks good.
Nade out the window, doesn't get the block. T24 still launching himself forwards. This is a madman.
S-Power, though, ain't done yet. This man is a one-man army putting in the work. 4 eliminations. He's finding the angles. He cannot be stopped. It's S-Power, baby.
We stamp our mark here on Thermopylae. S-Power, Leonidas, a king amongst kings. They can't quite make that top spot, but my God, they can give it a thrill.
Woo! S-Power showing the whole world he's got the stuff. He's got what it takes. And refusing to go down here in the last match of this tournament.
Meanwhile, teams across the board are making their way to the zone. 3 teams still in that smash potential. Nongshim have lost a player. Through all of that chaos, they are down to 3. Aurora out on the western side. North Hills of Los Leones. E-Arena, they're in the shadow of La Bendita. Right near to this fight on the northwest side of this, where S2G used to be. S-Power now has to deal with Orangutan.
Woo, but this man is I'm telling you, by himself, putting in so much work, but IQ finally shutting down the monster that is S-Power.
Finally taking a final breath within the lobby. And Admino now, the Lone Ranger for GodLike, to try and ladder up. Maybe jump past Ulf with 6 elims on card. They might have a chance here. Orangutan looking to do the same, but they've only got 2 players. You can see off in the distance, though, a crash from E-Arena. Moving over towards Ida. Ida really not providing of much resistance over the course of these finals, but maybe they'll be able to find it. Finally, digging deep, and down goes Sweps.
The top teams are getting devastated. Nongshim Red Force lost a player, and now it's Ida. Oh, but Joker shuts down Darkin. A huge 1v1 play, keeps his team alive, and it looks like they're gonna hold on to 3 for now.
Nade over. Swain cooking a nade. Wants to answer. Doesn't connect with it. Darkin off in the distance. Emre also still in action, but not quite on the angle. Oh, bad nade on the bounce. Doesn't quite find it. As GodLike do get eliminated, but there's one underfoot. Dashes back with the MG3. Needs to find something. Needs to get a big cannon spray down, but not to happen. Emre now, the last for Ida. And he's completely off in the distance. No way he can get back to this. So for E-Arena, they managed to make their way south, but Nigma Galaxy are cresting the ridgeline.
Here comes Nigma Galaxy. And I'll tell you one thing, folks. S2G fans everywhere are rooting for every single team to take out these top squads, because right now they're still at the top of the leaderboards here. It's just these teams below them that can surpass them. They have a little bit of a point gap, but Nongshim Red Force, Aurora, and E-Arena are still alive, and they're putting up points. E-Arena already has 4, but they are down a player.
That they are. And on the northwest side, we said before, to win this one, it's likely a chicken dinner needed for them. Aurora with 4 players alive, but they have got the blue zone biting at their heels right next to Horror. They will need to push up a little bit further and get into the fight. In the meantime, IQ, the last player alive for 4 Thrives. This has been a devastating position for so many, and IQ wants to dish out a little bit more pain here. Around the corner, spots the shotgun-wielding player from Orangutan, but nobody steps out through the threshold, goes for it, darts in, and nobody's connecting. Jukes, they're not figuring out whose turn it is.
IQ putting in the work there with the shotgun, ends up getting some more shots on a whiz. God finds the angle.
Nice.
IQ making the plays here at the end.
Next circle coming on in as well. The circle shrinks pretty central here. Does not favor Aurora or Nongshim Red Force, 2 of our really crucially placed teams, but gives E-Arena a little slither of it on that western side. The difficulty for E-Arena, though, the surround on their position by those roads. They act like rivers on Miramar, very frequently finding it very difficult to get across.
Let's see if they can hang on. They know they need to do more if they want to take this tournament. Meanwhile, S2G just having to wait and watch. Hope that they did enough and can hold on and take this tournament. This zone, though, proving to be very difficult. Nigma Galaxy, Coops ends up getting caught out.
Oof. And
he is out of the game. Nigma Galaxy gonna have to do it with 2 players remaining.
S2G, despite being out, may still be able to hold on. If the 3 competing teams go down, Nongshim have to go down first. On this south side, their approach is not the easiest. They are very spread out right now. I mean, it could be that S2G didn't need a single point in this game.
It's possible, but 7 points. 7 points will 100% guarantee Nongshim Red Force
7-point game from their position on the southwest side. I mean, it's difficult. Lord trying to survive for Enigma Galaxy. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride in these finals. They've always been present, they've always been relevant, but have not been able to find those clutch moments, those glimmers of greatness that really step you up to those top spots.
Man, great tournament overall for Enigma Galaxy, considering that they're in 7th place, dealt with a lot of hot drops off the rip.
True.
I can't wait to see what this team does in the future, and it's interesting to think about those 2-2 splits in Erangel, you know? If they maybe made some adjustments, who knows what could have happened, but still, you know, a good, solid finish from the squad. But at the end of the day, they always end up wanting one of those top 3 positions. Only a few can have it, though.
Hey, talking of comebacks, I mean, Tianba, what a resurgence today. They have done themselves so proud. And I am so pleased with the fact that they've been able to dig so deep today and put so many points back on the board. They're in 6th place right now, and with 4 drives on 1 player alive, there's a real chance they could jump up into that 5th place and take that spot away from them as Enigma Galaxy do go down. They are out 7th place right now. Pretty likely that they drop down further with both Flash and Furia behind them.
It's going to be interesting to see. Oh, here we go. Nongshim Red Force versus E-Arena. The biggest fight in this tournament could be happening right now. Nongshim Red Force do have the high ground, though, so they should be able to get this res.
But they will. They put 2 players out there. It goes away from this position. Everyone's going to have to leave. Meanwhile, 4 thrives do finally fall. They will go out. But again, very, very pleased with their performance over the course of the tournament. Happy to see them here. Hoping to see them again. Meanwhile, whilst Nongshim and E-Arena have their standoff, Aurora have their challenges on the other side of the circle. Alola, who spoiled the day for our 2 teams that could do it last time, now have Aurora to battle off against. They're a little bit pressured as another knock comes on through. Quick already down. Will not be in the fight. 2 players for Aurora to get rid of before they could own these East Hills.
Hey, Aurora Gaming getting some knocks onto Alula, but at the same time, they're saying, thank you, Alula, for that last game. Oh, man.
Very true.
Did you save us? Because that could have been over just like that. But Aurora, this could have been the opportunity for them. It is looking pretty good. They still have, they're the only team in the top 4 with all 4 players up. And that's good, solid position in this next zone. Can't afford to lose a single player. They catch Claws out. And that's another point on the board.
Nongshim.
Nongshim in trouble. That's Tizzy done. They're down to 2.
One of their strongest players now out of the mix, and that is going to leave just Hyunbin and XZY to try and put as many points on the board as they can. But they are dwindling. The fire is being blown, is being blustered. Leaning this way and that, started to look threadbare.
Oh, the fire starting to look like embers here. It's not looking good for the side of Nongshim Red Force. Losing Tizzy is a huge loss. We saw it earlier on the desk. This was pretty much almost your MVP gone. Now it's up to none other than Hyunbin, though, and XZY. Still 2 massive players. They just want to put some points up on the board, but even then, that might not be enough, because Aurora are still there. They can surpass them. XZY with the drive, trying to survive here, find any place in this circle. He finds a smoke, gonna have to hit the deck, and he holds on for now, but everybody is looking in this direction.
This 2-2 split from Furia, I'm starting to question it now. I feel like the time is right for a regroup, but they think otherwise. A 2-2 split of this magnitude is so vulnerable when we get in towards stage 6. Teams are going to look to crash. Aurora on that north side, potentially moving up towards Chief. On that edge of the circle on the northern side. E-Arena also now marshalling their forces. I said these roads can act like rivers. Let's see if they've got their paddle.
And E-Arena are putting up points in the final game. They are making some noise here. They've got 4 eliminations. They're still rocking a trio. Joker starting to keep his eye on Team Flash. Looks like the fight might be imminent here. But Team Flash got to decide what they're going to do. Joker's going to have an angle, and he's going to tell his teammates, hey, look, these teams are right here. Let's start taking some shots. Bose is on the back line, though. That's going to be the biggest threat for Arena.
Trying to get a little bit further forward, but Mormon's been spotted. There are only 3 players, remember. A move back up to the top of the hill there.
Interesting.
To re-bolster the position for Bose, maybe grab him on the vehicle, a run out on the other side, potentially what they're thinking about, but they're up to the road. They have to move further.
Nice shots from Joker, though, to be able to buy some time against Team Vitality, because Team Vitality are now looking in this direction. The zone is away from them. This is stage 6. They cannot afford to eat any blue zone here, but they may have to. There's no choice. So many shots are ringing in this direction, and they do not have their position locked down in this next circle.
Absolutely not. Really a lot of tenuous positions, and Fury are finally now looking to go for their regroup down to their south. You can see that northern side starting to make that mad dash across. Aurora could potentially cut through it. They don't actually manage to go all the way, but Reefus spots it, gets that knock. They have to get out of the vehicle, and this is exactly what I was worried about for Furia. They held their 2-2 split too long, and now they might be in the boiling, baking deserts of Miramar. But they are out in the cold. Chief now a lone ranger on the position. And Aurora all too happy to slurp that point away, get themselves closer and closer to the top.
All too happy and looking all too solid right now. Aurora are looking dangerous. The whole lobby needs to be put on notice. The airburst, Chief, he felt that one. S2G, you can see him. They are hoping and praying here as Chief's on fire, and that's going to be him down. Another point for the side of Aurora Gaming.
They haven't confirmed it yet, but finally the flames lick too hot, and he will fall. Ayala and Igor's, I mean, that's it was just they held that split way too long. They didn't go for that regroup in time, and they had paid the price for it. It could be quite an expensive one as well, given where they are on the tables in 9th place. They had a real opportunity to jump up fairly high and get things going, but the southwest side now, Jukes, is looking pretty hot. E-Arena could potentially get involved here if Flash, Horror, and Nongshim Red Force have that scrap.
They're gonna have to, because I'm gonna tell you one thing here, folks. This is where Aurora Gaming work their best, with the zone to their backs. Nobody behind them, only needing to focus forward and start putting some points on the board. Looks like Hyunbin's gonna get one, though. The duo of Nongshim Red Force still not out of this one just yet. Hyunbin having to hit the deck, though, buy some time. Can he at least get that confirmation? He does have 2 eliminations so far, but shots ringing out in every direction. It's not looking good here for Nongshim.
Oh, it is going to be a tough time for them, but they are much more central than a lot of other teams, and these South Hills will need to conclude. Quite inaccessible, but look at the bullets keeping him suppressed, and XZY go down. So close. And if Nongshim fall, S2G are going to be a little bit safer. But with Aurora taking a knock from Alola, the last player alive from it, a second as well. 2 players down from Aurora. Is it all coming crashing down around their ears?
They are outside of the zone now as it's shifted. They got 30 seconds on the clock to get these reses going and to be able to support their teammates. But Team Vitality are looking in this direction. They got nothing to lose at this point, and they are looking straight at them. Can Aurora get these reses? They're desperate. They're moving as fast as they possibly can. 20 seconds on the clock now, and it looks like they just might do it. When it comes to Nongshim Red Force, though, it's up to one single player, and it's none other than Hyunbin.
He needs a Herculean effort to do it. Aurora getting rolled up on by Furia. Oh no, Dark is down. Top is low. Seoul needs to anchor for them, but he's fallen too. And Aurora are crumbling.
Top goes down. It's down to one single player for Aurora Gaming to make this happen. Nongshim Red Force are out. 1 player from Aurora, 3 from E-Arena, and S2G trying to hold on. It's up to Reefus all by himself. They're looking in his direction. He's got to move. He's getting shot up. That's his it. He's got to get the shots.
Oh, it's so close. He gets the spray. And there goes the other with the nade. Reefus is down. And now it's only E-Arena who can take it away from S2G. They need a chicken dinner, but down is Joker. They have to hold the middle because they are in the center.
Oh, and you could see S2G, the nerves at an all-time high. E-Arena, though, on the move. Full lay down. It's down to the duo. They have 137 points right now. This is going to be very difficult for them, but this duo is still alive. If they somehow steal this win, it's tournament over, and E-Arena will win a world title for Thailand.
But it's looking much more likely that Turkey will be able to take that global stage by storm. At the top of the tables right now, S2G denied their chicken dinners, but will still eat hearty tonight if E-Arena fall by the wayside here. They started the day at the top of the pile, but they are getting slowly whittled down with 2 players left.
30K.
30K goes low, but stays up for a moment longer. And these elims are getting away. They are just slowly creeping down. And E-Arena are low. Down goes Foreman for S2G. It's only 30K who can take it away from them. And he is in the fight.
The crowd is excited. They're on their feet. S2G making some noise here. As it's one player left, one Tourney K that is in the way of a world championship title, and that is it! That is it, folks! Your PUBG Mobile World Cup at Esports World Cup 2026 champions are S2G!
The Titans from Turkey will reign supreme in Paris. They will take that trophy, they will bring it back, and they will hold their line. Denied so many times today, but in the final moments, they were able to sit back. I don't think they were relaxed, but they will take the top spot.
They're gonna go home with $500,000 and plenty of time to regrow those nails on their fingers, baby. That is what I'm talking about. Twice they could have won this. You can see the looks on their faces thinking, there's no way we lost this tournament. Are you kidding me? But consistency pays off.
They were able to keep it under control. The teams at the top could not go the distance. They did not have the stamina. And Tiamba looking to close this one out, looking like they're in control. And again, what a resurgence from Tiamba in the final day. It's looking like they might take that 5th place just outside of the top spots as they're closing us down. But again, the story is all Turkey, all day, S2G!
They've done it! S2G, hang on! And your champions live here in Paris, France. Man, did they deserve it. Working so hard, game after game. Almost winning it by Smash. But it's points that hang on, the tears ring out, and let's take it on over to the studio to wrap this one up.
Kamikaze and the rest of the squad just shining when nobody was expecting them to become the champions, Max. Turkey back on top of PUBG Mobile Esports.
It is going to Turkey here right now. Kamikaze lost. HamCG and Solke making history for Turkey once more. How do they just keep doing it? Solke, since the OG days, is still here delivering performance after performance, and now we'll be lifting that trophy.
And such a calculated decision from them throughout every game. 1 chance down, 2 chance down, but it was enough to take the title home. Every single play from S2G was immaculate.
Fantastic stuff coming in from S2G. Once they do it, twice they do it. They were so close. They get just a little mistake, a little fumble, but finally they don't get the win, but it doesn't matter. S2G are our champions. What a play, what a game, what a day for this squad.
A team that didn't start off too hot in the first day, but boy, were they able to bounce back with those wins that they were able to get in the second day, propelling them to the top of the leaderboard and challenging for that first place.
We had so many teams looking so good at the top right. The 4 teams all contesting a spot for the championship to be crowned your champions. But I would have to say S2G, the most improved team going into this event from the group stage, making it right to the finals. And it was close. It was down to the wire. It was a 3-way tie at one point today. But they do take it home. And keep in mind, PMGC later on this year will be happening in Turkey here. Will S2G be able to do the international back-to-back?